recently, and have only gotten more and more absurd in terms of my building patterns inside of. The most recent one that might look wackiest could perhaps be this one, but I'm really proud of some of the other ones as well. And so today I thought, why not make a whole new style of build, something I have not done before and have thought some about, which is creating shapes that don't naturally occur in the game. So one of those, for example, the one I'm doing today, is going to be creating a triangle build, because I look at this wall and I think, wouldn't a triangle just fit so well, so perfectly in that spot? How would I actually go about that? There'd be a lot of leaning. The gravity would be on maximum display, and so that challenge might be especially tricky. But I wanted to give it a try and just see how it feels. It seems like sort of a simple, yet perhaps extremely challenging premise here. I'm going to scoot things out of the way to start with, just because I want maximum space and I don't want to risk destroying any of my cool builds off in the background. Much as I like the monkey bench and the fire ant bench, I think those as well should be scooted just a bit out of the way. Excellent. Just a little bit of movement here, just a little bit of shuffling around to make room for a nice spot here for a triangle build. I'm a little worried about knocking this whole thing into the abyss, but I suppose we do what we can. So a triangle build, how exactly to start? One thing I might like to do would be to place a carpet under all of this. So I might try doing that real quick. Because with a carpet under, we sort of have our furthest left and furthest right sides in mind, or it's easier to measure that out. So I want to get them pretty close to the center between these two. And maybe I go a little past either side of the carpet, but that's a pretty good center spot there, I believe. So now, how would you make a triangle build? One thought is you could make a bench as the flooring, but maybe it makes more sense to do, not science, I'll tell you that, not science, but something more flat, even a cog wheel at the base. Oh, though the wheels, the cogs on this might not be the best. Maybe it'd be better to go with a sturdier, flatter base like a large painting. I like this idea because they're very solid. I can flatten them to the floor easily. Let's see how well this does. And it can also be a good way of measuring, okay, exactly how wide I'm going to want this. I'll know it's this many large paintings in width. We'll try this. And do, if you notice, feel free to remind me if I am using filler words, like, that sort of thing, with no purpose. Fine to say, I like this thing a lot, but not fine to say something such as, this is really, like, cool. Anything like that. Alright, so we have, and I would say all right in that case is kind of one as well. I'm going to try to work on this. I, once in a while, want to do this, even if it can be a little grueling to myself, just to get a little better at that practice. So we have a flat base of these. Maybe I go another layer higher, though it would reduce stability. So maybe in building a triangle out, just like this is fine. But what would I do bringing it up? At that point, maybe cogwheel art is fine. I don't just want to do all large paintings. But how am I going to lean it? How am I going to lean it? The thing with a triangle is there's a constant amount of leaning. Everything I do, everything I've done, even if it might seem impressive, I think some of it is really relying on stability. So, for example, although these tables sit here, and they seem to sit on the threads, a thread stability, a very thin layer, a very thin position, they are very stable because they're directly on top of something else that's stable. Up there, these are unstable, but they're always perched on something that is stable. Pretty much universally, every build I've done is very vertically up and down stable, or is being supported by something that is. And with a triangle, I mean, maybe with a triangle we could build almost a brace on the inside in order to allow stability. But I would have to do something like that. Or even braces that go outward and then inward. You could make like a deck of cards, maybe. Ellie, thank you very much. Ellie Anime. I assume you like anime based on that. I appreciate you leaving the follow there. Thanks so much. So if that is the plan, if the hope is to somehow make a brace on the inside I need to make it out of something that can stay there is the thing. So how can I manage that? Normally with braces, you put the brace inside, you set it all up, you destroy the brace once it becomes stabilized by the things on top of it, but a triangle will really never be stabilized. So maybe, as an example, something like a bar stool should go on the inside. Buddy, don't throw me all around here. My sprint speed is a little out of control. I do remember that from before. So for now, I would say set these things so they're just setting, and then I will lean them on, but the bar stool's a little bit too tall. A bar stool could lay on its side, however. Perhaps. And then it could be shuffled into place. Yes, there's a thought here. A thought behind those eyes, as they say. There could be just a thought or two behind these eyes. I need to shuffle you in such a way that I can drop that on top. Alright, so we have the core idea here. 2 bar stools facing inward on their flat. Would be better to be like this, maybe. It might be. But then this might make for a better thing to put on top. I need to be able to place something on top of these bar stools. So I will, in fact, place them like this. Oh boy. Okay, we're getting into interesting territory. So 2 bar stools. Can I grab my destructor tool? And what's the best destructor tool to grab? Normally I would use this, but I'm actually thinking that the hammer I have downstairs in my armory could be just a little bit better. Because that hammer should break in 1, but a saw will break in 2. Even if it has more force behind it, a 1-tap break may well be what I'm looking for. So the grain, is it the grain breaker? It is. I can't hop up here and crouch. Perfect. Perfect. So the grain breaker. We bring you up. Let's see how well you do with this. Oh my gosh. Way too strong. Okay, I see. I was hoping even if it had a little bit more force to it, the 1-tap would be better. I'm thinking not now. So instead, hello, yo. Abu de Bestby. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I like the name. Can I get you back in position? And now we try a similar concept with a saw blade, or maybe I don't even need to use a saw blade here. Maybe I can get this in position. It's going to be hard though, without wedging the box underneath. Oh boy. Can I pull you into position, more or less? Oh boy. Yeah, this might be a challenge. Need to swing you in position. Oh my gosh, wait. I need to move these things way further out of the way. I'm realizing they're going to knock into me and then pull me around, and eventually that's going to topple all my beautiful work. Alright. Carefully with that idea for sure. Oh, it's not, okay. Fix this. It needs to be like this. Topple forward. Me, Lulu, but I changed the name. Well, nice. Nice to see you, Lulu. Once more. Move this in, and then push it to the side. Alright. Maybe I can move it with this instead. The flat surface might be easier because I can get it between the wall and this and just pull back into place. But yeah, nice to see you, Lulu. Glad you came back to join. I had quite the stream the other day. Quite the stream going on. A lot of concepts. So wanted to bring it back with something a little bit lighter. Building a triangle. Should make for an interesting challenge. Kind of, okay, lower you down as far as you can. All right, there we go. Now, set you in just a bit here, and then set this just flat, and then we consider the next move. So, these 2 cogwheels sitting upright are going to topple onto that, but they're going to have to go higher next. So something that can go inside there, look good, and stay, but also support what I'm looking for. What would really fit nicely? Small paintings? Maybe. Problem is, small paintings are going to be pretty frail. I think when they say structural integrity, I'm not sure if I agree. So I might instead, maybe the flower pot facing inward and setting in here. Oh, that might be challenging to do. Is there somewhere you can set Maybe here. Oh, this is brutal. This is going to be brutal. This idea is spooky. So set you into there. Oh, this might just topple. Don't topple on me. I think there's a chance it works, though. There. And then see if I can pull back this part a little. Alright. Wanting to topple. I see it. I see it. Nice. So that there, and then the similar thing on the other side. If this comes together, it will be gorgeous, but the problem... I don't know if it's going to work being like that. It doesn't look like a triangle direction is forming. Right. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How are you? Glad you could come back and join. I'm doing an interesting sort of build right now. I'm trying to go for a triangle shape, which is not native to the game, which means it's going to be hard, but not impossible, I'm thinking. So for example, what I'd like is to build an interior framework, then set things on top of it and let them sit. I think it's the strongest of an idea as I'm going to get here. Okay, all right, interesting. Took me a while to join. Sorry. No, you're fine. You're fine. Glad to have you. So somehow I set this painting, yes, on top here, right, in order to create a base. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, nice to have you, right. I think this game, of course, I know you enjoyed quite a lot. There's another game after that. It's going to be a little bit of a shot in the dark because it's coming out as a closed beta, so it's new to me, but I've been waiting on this other game to come out for a good amount of months, so we'll see if it's any good, and you can kind of join me on that as well in an hour and a half, something like that, once we've got our solid triangle built. Oh boy. All right. So the triangle, I'm thinking, is going to start as low as here, leaning on like that. Oh, that could be gorgeous. All right. I like it. Have a good stream. Yo, Moose. Thanks for popping by. How are you, Moose? I appreciate that. I was enjoying taking a look at your stream as well. We've got this going here. We're creating sort of a brace for it on the inside. I need another plant. Oof. I'm a little worried about how this is going to turn out. It might be good, but it's... I don't know if anything like this has ever been done. It's so weird. So then bracing up that way, and I do think potentially a light in here that it can also lean on is an interesting idea. Okay, I think I like that concept. We do a similar thing on this side. Because of course, yes, I could do this more simply. Ooh, yeah, I think all this is gonna have to go to the right. It might be hard. I think it is a good idea. But I could do this more simply like a stack of cards where we just put large painting, large painting, large painting, large painting, like all the way up like that, then another set of large painting with a flat on top, and then have it on the top. Just a simple card situation. But I feel like it's a little uninspired. And this might be just more exciting. Oh yeah, don't fall though, don't fall. I like that. I like that a lot. This is gonna be hard. So all the way up on either side. Oh, it might be a bit too tall of a triangle at that point. How tall should the triangle? The triangle really should end somewhere, let's just say roughly here. It could even be as high as that.
Wait to stare at that for hours.
And that doesn't look too far off, actually. Put you in a little bit. I think this might not be the worst idea, actually. So that goes this way. Another one will prop it up to lean onto this. Prop it up to lean... Well... Yeah, on that edge, on this edge, up this way. Then we're going to need to catch... Let's say it's here, actually. With the light edge. Should work. We'll see if that works. So you really can't know until you get it more in place. Oh, this is such a shot in the dark way of doing things because it's so likely to topple. It's not likely to topple based on the normal things I'm used to, where you have all these things in a row and it's like, oh, it is stable, but any wrong move, it's more like it's just not stable inherently. When you build a triangle, it's just not stable. All right. So say I could set you here. Oh my goodness. Oh, it worked. All right. Let's try it again. So then this one, same thing. I can't believe that's working. All right. Come on. Don't topple on me now. We've got something kind of nice going, but it might just be too unstable to last. We'll see. Oh, okay. This one, I will, I'll be honest with you. This one's a little bit off, but that's way better than I was expecting that to go. See if I can just shuffle it. Just a bit. Please, I must. Just a little bit. Okay. Alright, well. It's not terrible. This one's practically perfect, but anyway, it's fine. So now the next stage... I almost feel like it needs to lean in a little more, because otherwise this is going to go up to here and this is going to go up to there, perhaps? So, but how to fix that? What about a little pressure on the outside of the bottom one? Is that too greedy? It might be. A small bit of pressure. The outside of the bottom one to move. Okay. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be much. A little bit goes a long way. 5 watch streak. Yo. Nicely done, right? Come on, a little more. All right. Then I need to take the lights, shuffle them in. I would say maybe even take this, shuffle it in. Oh my gosh, that's sensitive. It's sensitive. Take this, shuffle it in. Oh, that's much better though. You're setting there. Does that work? Yeah, it does. Wow, it really does. This one not as well though. This one's so nice. I don't know why this one came out so nice. I might allow this. I might do this one more time on this side just to see if I can get it to set right, because this one's just not quite right. All right. But yeah, thanks so much for the 5 watch streak. Appreciate you sticking with me here. Let's see. Lower it down. Set. Oh, for some reason it's always just this little bit off. Just this little bit. But okay, try again. Try again. Lower. Oh, okay. Again. Lower. Release. That's a little closer. Always a small bit off. But what might help it not be a small bit off? Is this too far the wrong way? Maybe we take you off. And if I can fix the position of this a little to be a bit further out, I won't have this issue. And try again now. I think this is the right idea. I think so. Because it just has nothing to lay on there, and so it flips a little bit further than I want it to. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I had in mind. So that worked. This is making me so nervous, dude, working so close to this. So that worked. I do think... Let it set there and pull these in, yes. Because I don't want them in the way when I build the next part. I can't believe this is working. I can't believe it. So lower you to the ground, put you more in the center. So the next part has to be to make stability for these things to set here. So we can, because we're going to do one more above. I was 4 years older than mine, but I'm 6 years younger than you. Interesting, veterans. Interesting. Let me see. What does that mean? Wait. If my mom is 4 years older than your mom, and you are 6 years younger than me. Think about what that would mean. Appreciate you. Appreciate the water. Reminder. 26 years ago, my mom would have been, what, 24? Although I guess, yeah, I have an older sibling as well. That also probably plays into it in terms of sort of ages. If she's 46 and then, yeah, something like that. I'm playing Minecraft on my Nintendo connected to my old TV with my tablet in my lap and listening to the stream. Nice. That sounds fun. That does sound fun. I haven't played enough Minecraft in a while. I do once in a while. I once in a while get into it, but But it's been a minute since I got too heavy into it. It's changed a lot in the years and stuff, so. What do I want here? So I would like... How do I stabilize this? If I could just build something vertical all the way up there and then set this on top of it. What about the idea of building vertical paintings in 2 lines like this, and then setting that on top with the lights to lean on as a central piece? And then maybe I break the lights on the end, although that might be really risky. But I'm curious if that could work. I think the idea looks cool in my head, even if it's bizarre. Could be super cool. So say we do like this, on either side going up. Yo, Valion! Yo, Valion, nice to see you. How are you? I'm doing something a little bit insane right now. So, but let me kind of give you a rundown. I don't know if you've ever seen Grainrot, if you know what it's like, and if you'd even take an interest in it. It's a little different from the things I've seen you play normally, but it is a fun one if you've ever played Repo, Lethal Company, that sort of thing. It might be up your alley if you enjoy any of those. Ever seen this game? Fair, totally fine, Valion. I've been playing it. I've played 130 something hours in the last 2 weeks of this game, so I've been playing it a lot. So I can kind of give you a rundown. The base concept behind the game, and what almost everyone who plays it is going to get into. Did you know ADL has a bot that replies to people in chat? I have seen that. It's kind of interesting. Almost anything you add to streaming, any kind of idea that you have that you make happen is cool, because then you have a new tool at your disposal and you've done something and now you know how it works and you can improve on it. But I don't know if it's something that I would want in my stream, because sometimes I chat in there and it says something and I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Who is this guy? So, but I do think it's a cool concept, and I like seeing new things implemented in ways I just haven't seen it before. So ADL's a cool guy as well in general. But okay, I'm getting off track. So Valion, the idea behind the game, if you ever play it or see anyone play it or wondering why it's sort of succeeding right now, is that at its core, it's an extraction looter, which would be something like Repo or Lethal Company, where you go down, in this case, you go down an elevator. In those games, you might go with your ship, or you might use your ship, or you might use the truck, I think, in Repo. But in this game, you're going down an elevator and battling different enemies that are down there, creatures, and then gathering gold from those creatures, gathering items and throwing them into an extraction machine, like a big grinder, and then gathering more gold from that. And if you get enough gold, you see here you have this gold counter here. You put the gold into here, like a coin machine sort of, and then you press a button and escape. And any extra gold that you get, you can bring back and get new weapons and items from the shop. That at its core is basically everything that Repo is. But then you add on top of that all these layers. So if we think of Repo, I would say Lethal Company as being a very base idea that had some cool concepts poured on top. And then Repo is being building off of that idea and really properly exploring it and creating something. So more combat, more fleshed out than just the sign, but still just grabbing enemies and toppling them over. But at least there was progression in it that you could get strength increases to defeat enemies easier. And then in this game, they add on to that there's not just strength and like abilities, not just stat improvements, but also all kinds of weapons. So like, for example, I made an entire armory here for every weapon in the game. There's a lot of weapons, a lot of items to use. And so it's more combat focused. You can also drop kick, which will knock enemies over, which is a cool feature. So you have all of that. You're fighting enemies a lot more. You've got different items, nail spitters to shoot nails into them, big weapons to smash them down, and then a customizable base. That's exactly where we're headed to, Valion. So the base element of it is you bring all this back up, not just gold, but also scrap, and you can use the scrap to build all kinds of furniture, which you unlock over the course of the game. You gain these sort of purple currencies as you fight enemies, and as you break down loot down in the extractor. You use it in here to get a sort of gumball situation going, throw it into there, and up until a certain point, what that would give to you would be an item to place in the building, instead of just scrap once you get it all collected. Once you have it all unlocked, you kind of just get scrap. But before that point, you'd get an item. And so, like, let's say, for example, like a case like this, the first thing I ever built was a table with a chair and a light. And so maybe I have the chair and I have the light, but I don't have the table. So I envision something here, but there's nothing I can do with it yet. So I just kind of move on. Then I unlock the table, and I can add the table into here with the chair and the light, and I get, kind of a nice scenery. But it's not just scenery that you're unlocking there. Every single room, based on its level of experience, will give you a stat boost. So rather than like Repo, where you might buy a stat boost and then you just have it, you just eat it and now you are stronger. In this game, it's all based on what you build, which for a while, building was a thing that I did where I wanted to build kind of a pretty landscape. I wanted to put carpets under things. You know, it started getting a little bit more packed in terms of the walls. You can kind of see that's a lot going on. But then I unlocked the second floor, and I'm able to put more things up here to get more stat boosts, like crit chance. I built this kind of cool one tells the truth, one lies, two doors situation, almost like in the labyrinth or something like that. And so I'm enjoying building in this way. I make a bed, and there's benefits to putting things together that are similar or related. So these fans with the bed do well. The carpet underneath enhances things that are on it. The chest near the bed, the lights near all of it. All these different things benefiting it. This is a little crazy, but but I made a bar over there, which I kind of destroyed eventually. But I made a bar over there, and it was pretty. And but there comes a point in any Grainrotter's life where they just start to feel like there's just way too much on the walls. Like a natural problem with this game that can exist is that the further you push into it, the more you're like, well, I really want the stats, and as much as I like building, as much as like the prettiness of this, it's kind of got to go in favor of just making me strong enough in the game. Inevitably, right? Like there's this inevitable encroaching doom there. And I found a solution to it, my first solution, which was this. I made a tunnel entirely out of the different paintings and items, each of which benefit each other. So signs, paintings, small and large, and the cogwheels all benefit each other. So I'm stacking these things, I'm making this thing. Initially, it was just going to be kind of these aisleways in a spot in the house that I didn't care as much about, but it eventually became more than that. It became this tunnel. And once I had this tunnel, I thought of it, it just kind of goes from there, where once you have this unique build, where you're like, okay, here's my solution. I'll just throw a bunch of crap in a spot, and we'll just have that all densely packed there so I can still have my cool builds. But then that turns into creative builds that are constructed of mass amounts of things, which opens up a whole new concept of building things that just don't make sense in the game, that just they're not really intended to work this way, but you can build them, and if you push hard enough, if you think with the mechanics enough and you make it work, like these upside down tables. Things in the game don't like being upside down. Case in point, the table tries to flip itself over as soon as you pick it up. And so like building things creatively and finding ways to allow yourself to do things that aren't really by design but that do look really nice is a whole other direction in the game that I've just kind of fallen in love with. So anyway, there's your sales pitch. I think at the base level, it's really good combat. There's, I think, maybe 18 different enemies, something like that, and every single enemy has unique mechanics of how they sound and how they, like the attacks that they do, the way you have to engage with them is different. Some enemies, like of course there's the Weeping Angel that doesn't attack you as long as you don't attack it, unless you're not looking at it. You know, there's the eyeball sort of thing. In Repo, they have an eyeball that it looks at you and you can't look away until you get around a corner. That same creature also has, it's mobile though, instead of being on the ceiling, and it has the ability to shoot a laser in all directions, sort of like the clown in Repo. But there's like a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different enemies to keep track of, and it's just a cool game. It's a cool game. There's a lot going on in it. I think almost everyone who plays it is going to come for the Repo style things, but appreciate that follow very much there, Kyle. Thank you so much. Almost everybody who plays the game, almost everyone who gets into it is going to be here for the Repo style, the Lethal Company style combat. And I was too. I thought that was going to be the real sales pitch for it. Okay, kind of cool. And then I like that it's a roguelite element in terms of building, but the actual big building style stuff is, for me, that's what kept me around. It's like the difference between a good game and a great game, where as long as the first 10 hours, maybe even just 5 hours are good, it's like, oh, that's a good game. I like it. But if they can find a way to keep you after that, then you know there's something kind of great there. And that's how I see it, at least. Let me go ahead and place some big paintings. Hardly played any Lethal Company Repo style games. Fair. Yeah. For me, at least, as a solo game, Lethal Company Repo were things I couldn't really get into. This is the only one in that genre. I feel like that's succeeded with solo at getting me to stick around. But let me see here. Hardly played any Lethal Repo Company games myself, so I'll just have my morning coffee and enjoy the stream. Well, thanks so much, Valian. Thank you very much. I'm glad to have you around. Let me place this here. Yeah, we're looking at 2 games today, or doing things with 2 games today. The first one is this one, of course, with the attempt at building a triangle build, which is sort of a weird idea. The second game is called PAX. It's a sort of post-apocalyptic world exploring game where you have these vehicles that are broken down sort of hunks of garbage, and you're trying to go around and find parts and supplies to repair them and make them better, to go on more runs and to improve them so you can finish runs faster and get more money and whatever. There's some core concept there with that. It looks really good. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to play it after this. I've been looking forward to it, though, for a good amount of time. It's just entered closed beta, so I'm also excited for that one. But if I can turn this build into a successful triangle build, I'll be pretty proud of myself, because I don't know if anyone's done that yet. And it's kind of weird. It's been a weird way of building it. I think that this height will be around correct for these two. We'll kind of see. Let me see. Forgettable Vendetta. How you doing? Nice to have you in. Have you played this game? If you've played this game, you may find my base interesting. What I'm doing right now is really weird. I'll be open and honest with you. I've not made a triangle build before, and it's really, really strange. But doing good, thank you. How are you? I'm quite good myself. I've been very good. I did a major sort of project for this game recently where I did a tier list of every weapon and tool was one of the tier lists. I had every enemy in the game. I had every buildable construct, which I have very passionate feelings about because I build like crazy. That's my number one thing with this game. And then every elevator symbol, which was a bit of a shorter one, but was an interesting thought experiment. And anyway, that went pretty well. That stream went pretty well, I would say, all in all. So I'm happy with that. And then I've got a game I'm looking forward to seeing after this one as well coming up. So yeah, it's a pretty good day. Pretty good day as far as all that goes anyway. And my mom's 50th birthday was yesterday. So I had a good time sort of like with the party and everything with that as well. Yeah. Yes, perfect. I played this game. Good to hear. Never heard about this game before. Well, if you haven't, have you played Repo Lethal Company, that kind of game? They're sort of extraction looters. I would say this one is the next step of evolution of that, for me at least, it feels like. Where those games are very solely like multiplayer. People call it friend slop, whatever you want to say, but I really like Repo and Lethal Company. I think they're very good games, so slop feels a little wrong, but I get it. But with those games, I do like them. I think they've got a lot going for them, but they're really very good multiplayer and don't have a lot to offer solo. For me, at least, compared with this game, there's a lot more you can do here with building. Not just the ridiculous stuff that I'm doing. I mean, the stuff I'm doing is pushing it to kind of weird levels, but just as on a casual level, placing things close together and having them sort of enhance each other to gain more experience for rooms so that you can ultimately get levels in those rooms to increase your stats, and then go down and battle enemies and gain loot, gain scrap, push deeper and deeper layers. That's a very fun cycle that the other games, it's more just you beat whatever levels you can. Once you lose, then you're just fully resetting. So this is a lot more meta progression than just progression. A lot of those games just have sort of the one feature to them, and they're good. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy them, but I think you'll find more depth here. Let's see, what do I want to build next? Let's see. Great game, a breath of fresh air. I agree 100%. Yeah, Repo's fantastic. I think Repo especially, I do think Repo, of the extraction looters I played before this one, was at the top. And I think that the most satisfying to play with friends as well. It does a really good job of keeping you in close proximity. I think this game must have learned some from that, in that you come all in an elevator. Like that game, you come all in on a truck, and you're all starting together, and then you expand outward, but you're all going back to the same place. Where in Lethal Company, you kind of separate out, you go in, and it feels like you get lost from each other really, really quick. What aspects are you comparing this with Repo? Well, I mean, at its core, I guess that it's an extraction looter. It's hard to ignore. Would be that you go down into sort of a set of rooms. You're gathering items. You're taking them back to an extraction spot, and then you're gaining loot from that. And that Repo does have combat. It's a little more limited in this game, but it does have combat. I don't know if Repo has any bosses. This game is going in sort of a boss direction as well, but anyway. This game is mainly in that direction. If you watch the trailer for it, it pushes that way. What I'm doing here is that the game does have really fairly fleshed out building mechanics with some ways to sort of abuse them, and so I'm trying to, I like to make really ridiculous, bizarre things in the game, and that's my expertise, or my focus. But I'm also like 50 layers deep, so I've done every monster Repo feels like a boss. That's fair. Okay, let me let me take you down here. I'm super broken of a character. Like, I'm not going to struggle with pretty much anything in the game as it stands because I've put a crazy amount of work into just doing stupid things with building. And so this is my health room. It's the one room that I've really min-maxed to the ends of the earth. I normally like to build kind of more artistic builds, or build outside, which is, well, you won't understand why that's crazy, but it is unusual. But anyway, let me go ahead and take you down here, and keep in mind that my character is super broken right now, so that's why things aren't a struggle for me. I should bring my snipers though, because I am on layer 50. I'm pretty deep. I don't want to lose all my layers just for the showcasing of the game. But here's one thing. So in Repo, because you're saying you're sort of familiar with Repo and you enjoy Repo. Repo has, let me see. So Repo has the eyeball on the ceiling, and it has the clown that lasers in a circle. These two characters, for example. Those two mechanics are combined into one character in this game, which is I think it's the Orb Server, but it's like the Observer. The Observer is an eyeball character that waddles around on two legs. It waddles around on two legs, and it can stare at you and make it so you can't look away and you can't attack. And so you have to go around a corner to avoid it. Oh my gosh, we got no fuse here. And it can also laser eye in a full circle. Yo, Cheesy Mac, thanks so much. Appreciate that follow. It goes a long way, So like, let's say we come down here as an example. That's one enemy, but there's a ton of different enemies in the game. I think there's, like 18 enemies in the game? Every single one of them has unique mechanics. Some of them are... I did a ranking of all the enemies in the game. Some of them are not so complicated, and some of them are extremely dangerous. And there's also bosses. It's still pretty early in terms of a game relative to where Repo is. Like, I think in the next couple of years, there'll be more bosses and more missions, like more main story, because this does have a main story where Repo is more of a... I don't know what you'd really say. It's more of a... it's like it's not. It doesn't have a main story. I'll just say that. I don't know how to really say that. It's like a concept style game. But okay, where do I want to go here? Okay, so this is not. Most maps don't look like this. This is a very dark map. Get through here. Very dark and very flamey. Let me see. Where are you? So where's... Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am pretty deep. So there's gonna be a lot of enemies. This enemy, as an example, this enemy will attack me and knock my soul out of my body, which is this. It'll break me out of my body and will take my soul somewhere. Again, I'm really broken right now, so I do one-shot these guys, but normally you wouldn't. So these guys do that. That's their main gimmick, is stealing your soul and carrying it around. I can remove my own soul, or like jump out of my body essentially, to sometimes get enemies to ignore me, and then also, maybe more importantly, to enter into different constructs. So if you're playing with your friends, for example, if you both get your souls taken, you could jump into your friend's body if it's closer and get moving. But also there's another one of those. But also there are constructs around, if I can just find one. Normally they're on top of these workbenches. Let me see, I'll look around a little. Swing around, cool. Where are we here? Go down this way, jump. I want to see if I can find you one, but I'm not. There's usually 2 to 3. So this is the Rotten Kid. The Rotten Kid will constantly give you Grainrot, the name of the game, but also a thing that you don't like to have. If I get 100% Grainrot, so I have 19, 20, 21 now. Every bit of Grainrot that I have, as it goes up, will make it so, like, once I get to 100%, I'm not only radioactive to everyone around me, giving them Grainrot, which includes my friends, of course, if I'm playing multiplayer, but also I will vomit and, like, be super slow while I'm doing that, like, and that will damage other characters, will damage the items I'm trying to bring home, and will attack this guy, for example, who seems really nice now, but when I punch them, they become aggressive. And so this enemy has like a few different mechanics like that I do think are pretty cool. But that's just, another one of the enemies. Let's keep swinging along here. This is the Whaler. The Whaler does this glowing move attack, and see that when I shoot them, it doesn't end. It still explodes after. So that pushes everything around, throws it everywhere, which can be really annoying if you're trying to pick up stuff and bring it home. So that's their really main mechanic, is that they try to break all your stuff. They do okay damage, but it's not as severe as some of the other enemies. Well, that gives you disease. So funny. Right. Let me check here. There's an episode of MTV Cribs. Yeah, I do a lot of building. I'm a bit more of a builder than most. This is the Chipper, who Their big thing is that anything that they're touching will be being destroyed and broken, so they're a bit more simple of an enemy, but any flying enemy could be tricky because following after them is a little harder than some others. The sniper's not bad for it. I'm gonna toss this knife, I don't need it. Grab the fuse. We got a fuse on this map, so I need to bring the fuse back to the elevator. But yeah, that's Chipper. I think the flying enemies aren't too big a deal, but they can be a struggle in some situations, and Chipper can be especially annoying, again, just because they will chop up everything around them. They're natural at that, destroying all your loot as they wander around the map looking for you. So if you can't find your loot fast enough, then they might mess with you that way. We've got 3 different constructs. This one, legendary constructs really. This one is the Ram. Ram is actually probably the strongest construct because it can do this. And like slam things, and it will knock things over. So enemies get knocked over even, which makes them pretty powerful. They're a little slow. The monkey's the fastest, and then the slowest one of them all, of all the constructs, is the fire ant, who has 2 flamethrowers, 1 on each arm. Monsters for here really do feel similar to Repo. Yeah, it's definitely building off of that core concept, much like Repo built off of Lethal Company. Okay, we got another Ram, no big deal. Can I build... I'm going to build a crate because I have enough scrap to do so, and I've unlocked the crate, and go ahead and throw any of these glowing items into the crate to try to bring back with me. So not only can you build on the surface and make your rooms better, but you can also build well down here to bring home the items. Might even be better, instead of building the crate, a recent thing I've started doing is building a barrel. It does hold things a bit better, and it's less likely to shake around. Actually, we'll do that. Do that real fast. Okay, put you all inside. What is our character's story? So well, I don't know if I want to spoil too much, because it is a sort of narrative game in some ways. There's a main storyline where you meet a few different characters. Okay, which one are you? You are, what do you go by? Buzzer the bee. So Buzzer shoots these needles that will explode, which will damage stuff, throw it all around. And so that's a little that's their gimmick. Ooh, okay, there's the Orbserver, which look what they do. So they do this. This is one of their moves, which is, yeah, very similar to the clown move. The other move is very similar to the eye. Okay, can I get somewhere that I can, yep, do that, and then hide behind here? So that's the Orbserver, which, again, I think it's kind of cool that it's 2 different moves that are in Repo, 2 different entire enemy types all poured into one. That's super active. Yeah, like the clown's laser. Exactly. Let me see. Not to make too much of a comparison, but since you're more familiar with that game, I think it makes sense to do. Go ahead and throw you into here. And again, it's a good number. It's cool we're kind of seeing back-to-back a lot of unique enemies, because I can show you and talk about each one. Okay, well, I don't know if I have too much else I can find there. I'm just going to take this over. Yeah, there's a ton of enemies. I love the building, but the combat stuff is super cool. Some enemies drop their weapons and items if you destroy them, but the easiest way to destroy an enemy when you're still learning the game is to use the extractor. I'm so fast right now, it's ridiculous. I've been pouring a little bit more into the sprint speed lately, and it's kind of getting crazy. I'm like a hamster running around here, zipping down the hallways. We got that. I just need, wait, so in this case, because I'm this deep in, the extractor is spawning away from the spawn. Oh, here we go. Did I get you in time? I think I did, yeah. If you get them before they start glowing, that is a way to avoid the the blue explosion situation. Let's see, is it here? Yeah, it's here. So what I can do here that I've been doing more recently is I'll put a green light showing where the elevator is, and then do green lights leading from the elevator to the extractor, which is here. There we go. So we do like this, and I'll also do like, that's pretty good. Fungus Mental, yo, thanks for the follow. It goes a long way. Really appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. So leading all the way to there, leading from here. I think this strategy is pretty good. It's pretty good because it's so easy to get lost. I mean, like any of the games, but because I can build, I might as well take advantage of it. And I don't really need the scrap that much right now. I might go on a big scrap run sometime, though. Just try to get an insane amount. Happy Grainrot Sunday. Yo, Zeph, nice to have you in. How are you? Showing off the game a little bit here. Mostly today I want to be building my triangle base and all that, but But I had someone come in, oh, they're probably still in, I'm sure, Forgettable Vendetta there, who has not played the game, has not really heard of the game, but who knows Repo. They wanted to kind of give a rundown of the comparison, the crossover of ideas. Good, just fixing the AC a bit. Oh, nice, nice. I see. Sort of handyman-ish situation there. Throw you in here. Yeah, a lot of my stuff got broken there. No big deal. Grab a little bit of this up. Thank you. And throw it back home. Excellent. Back home, back in. Yeah, nice try, bud. Nice try. Oh, that guy. Yeah, I'm way broken in the game. When you first start out, a lot of these enemies are a lot more threatening. That guy, their gimmick is that they can spawn a spider out of their mouth that can chase you down. They can spawn as many as you give them time to spawn. So they'll just spawn one and then run at you a little bit more. If you keep running away, they'll spawn another one. It chases you down and it sets down and explodes. You can use the spider actually to fight them back. So I consider them one of the weaker enemies, but it is cool to have that separate mechanic. And they also will jump on their own head and blow up to do damage to you if you get too close to them. But kind of a cool enemy. Grab up some of this. Are there any other? There are a few others. Hello, you again. What other enemies haven't I found yet? I mean, there's yeah. Oh no, Big Jack. We still haven't found Big Jack. I don't know if we will. Also, haven't seen the boss portal yet. But I've got the gold to dip, so that's a pretty good showcase of generally what you're looking at. There are boss portals that you can find after a certain level of floors in. Right now, there's not a ton of bosses, but I think that just adds another layer to it, and I do appreciate that existing. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, no, we got fuse. We're good. These... All right. Let me clear my Grainrot here real fast. A lantern. A little bit of flame. A little bit of heat. Does a lot of work. So, elevator symbols are super cool. Oh, hey now. Hey, buddy. Get out of here, bro. Elevator symbols are cool because every time you go down here, you've got 3 different symbols, each of which impact that run. So there's positive symbols and negative symbols. The fuse disappearing, the fuse one in the center here as an example, will mean you have to go and find a fuse before you can leave. So not only do you require to get the gold to leave, you also now need a fuse to leave, which is in some kind of chest somewhere around the map. You add in rot here, for example, which constantly I'm gaining Grainrot, which, well, as I've discussed before, can be a problem, especially with multiplayer. This can be spooky. And then this one is the Lucky Find, which raises raises the amount of positive items. So I found a ton of items there to turn into the extractor. You don't always find quite so many. I just have extra ones because I do have that modifier. Let's see if I can dip out here. There we are. There we are. So that's a little rundown. It's a great game, a breath of fresh air. Oh no, that's from Repo. Let me refresh this. But yeah, I think you might enjoy it if you haven't. It seems like you haven't heard of it before, and I do think it's growing. I think it'll find more and more of an audience over time. But it ticks off a lot of these boxes and adds in the building end, which allows both creativity and then also allows for a pretty cool way to have progression throughout the game. That if you were to lose and die, it's not just a full reset. There's also not, like, Repo's, I wouldn't throw this on Repo, but on Lethal Company, I do think when you walk into the building and you hit E to enter the door, and as soon as you enter the door, there's a mine under your feet and you're already dead before you even started doing anything, and you have really no way of knowing there's going to be a mine there. But the same thing with headliners, that kind of thing feels unsatisfying, especially in solo. Repo really doesn't do that. Like, Repo, again, I do think is quite a lot better than a lot of the games in the genre. But also this game doesn't do that. I would say this game and Repo both do a pretty good job of being more fair to the player. Let me see here. So this up to here and this up to here. This company is a clip farming game for people on Twitch. I do think there's a good element of that because the only excuse that I can have for that, because I'm sure they knew that would happen, that there's no reason for them not to have just set up a thing where mines cannot spawn in the doorway. But there is something satisfying for a moment, and it makes for a good clip where you blow up and then someone else walks into the building like, what happened here? He's already dead. It's kind of funny. Why are we collecting so much stuff? So this isn't stuff from down there. It's stuff that I'm building. I do collect a little bit. Like, I collected these angel things to make this, but it's a mixture of a couple different reasons. One reason that I like to have so much stuff is because the primary reason, I guess, or the primary reason that you might like to build more as you go along through the game is because by building a chair, a table, things on top of the table, a rug underneath, and so on, every single time I'm building something, I am gaining points. You see this +7 and +1. That's all points towards the experience of the overall room, which, as this room is, for example, gives you increased attack power. Every room works that way. Each individual room has its own stat that the room is tied to. So it could incentivize you to do things like this, which took me a very long time, that are not very much for the aesthetic. And it could also incentivize you to at least do things like this, just to get some extra experience, but also for the aesthetic, or something kind of in the middle where you're pushing extremes in weird ways and messing with the mechanics of the game to make something really pretty, but that also does boost your aesthetic, your experience, I should say. Something right in the middle there. But yeah, that's the reason that people are going to be grabbing a lot, building a lot, and working. That's the meta progression system as a whole, so that as you play, you do get better and better in that way. A cool thing though, because you might enjoy that, you might really make your character super broken, that I've found is, although yes, I've gotten really insanely strong in this character, when I went and played multiplayer, it's like, even though I have no HP, I know every enemy, I know what they sound like when I hear a shade, I know that little kind of sound to their voice, I know each individual enemy has their own, the sort of Radiator-esque high-pitched whistling sounds of the Observer. Every enemy has their own sounds. I'm also better at drop kicking now than I used to be, and I know where to use different attacks, when to run, when to move, when to shoot, all these different things. And so, like, yes, on one side, there is meta progression, you can get better on that end. Also, if you feel like it, you can do challenge runs, you could do a fresh save, or you can play multiplayer with people and show off your skill as well. So it's not as if it's a no-skill game just because it has meta progression. But the meta progression does mean that if you're not really like a big gamer, I really want to be mastering every single mechanic type thing, which I like to do, but if it's not your cup of tea, you can always build more into places and find a win that way and still get to experience the full game. Because some people, I do remember some people when it came to Lethal Company Repo that were a little bit less gamery. It's like, well, I just die and then I don't get to experience the game. And this, there's ways to get around that, which is always good. That's the core of a lot of roguelites is the approachability. If you could, because you can play them on Hades runs, let's say, or not Hades, but is it Slayer runs, where you have absolutely no upgrades and no anything from the start. What usually is just another purchase or a pickup. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm kind of caught up here. So, Grainrot Sunday, good. Just fixing the AC. High Zephyros wave. Cool extraction. Love how punchy that gun looks when you fire it. Yeah, the sniper is really strong. Yeah, for sure. It's quite fun. Clip farming game, we're collecting stuff. This game gives you a fair chance between trying to combat or farm, and you can keep the loop fun for trying to survive. Yeah, it's a balance. It's a nice balancing act. What usually is just another purchase or a pickup? What are we asking exactly there? Apologies, I'm not sure if I understand. There are... I think anything, like if we're talking about building, for example, I think anything could be creatively used to build, but some things are easier than others. If we're talking about weaponry, there are some weapons, well, I don't know, it just depends on kind of what you're talking about. I guess I can't answer without totally understanding. But I think I want to make this a triangle build, which is what I was working on before. I think I want, if we have another one this way and then one more up to there, is this going to be, I just don't know if this is going to be, so let's say it's here, there, has to be here to there. It might be a little bit of a weird triangle, or I might need to shift them both in a tiny bit to make it work. Not totally sure yet. Okay. We'll see. Oh, not green. Scoot you along. I need back to this, then, and you can change the colors, especially for lights. I like it. There was something a bit ago, by the way, with wall shelves. Yeah, let me know. Thanks for the water reminder there, Valiant, I should say. Appreciate you very much. All right. So this is going to sit, but I know it's not going to sit well here. So for now, maybe I have it sit against a light, and then we can remove the light later. I don't know if that's a bad idea, though. Maybe instead I could... Oh, no, maybe it's an okay call. It might be. How's it going, Jacka Juice? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We're working on it. We're working on it. I was just talking about the game and kind of showing off the reasons for why people might want to give it a go. And now I'm working on this triangle build. It's okay. It's going well right now. I think there's a very good chance. I just don't know exactly where to go with it. You can overlap them directly, one on top of the other. But the second, you're talking about wall shelves here, I think. The second, directly on top of the other, but the second has to be mirrored. When you do that, it's like it loses physics and becomes just hardened anchor. Hardened anchor. Hold on. Wall shelves set. Do they have to be attached to anything, or are you saying they just sit on top of each other and they become like an anchor without being attached? I'm able to break it down. Let me see. Move it. Oh, my stuff. Careful. Careful with the flight. It's spooky. All right, let me see. Okay, on the wall. So, yeah. If it has to be on the wall, you can make an anchor regardless. But you're saying the other one will also become an anchor. So let's say I place this one on the wall. That normally this one becomes an anchor. Can't move it. But you're saying that I can somehow place another one with it in a way where it can't be moved. But not just on the wall. Because if you place it on the wall, it's on the wall, right? There's something here I'm missing. Okay, oh wait, only one building. Okay, hold on. Only when building. Okay, so if I do like this, and then you're saying maybe there's a way, because that's of course going to be on the wall. Is there a way that I can place it onto this, maybe? So upside, let's try upside down. No, but of course that would stick to the wall because it's on the wall. Is there a way I can stick it to itself somehow and make it? Oh no. A little confused by how this would work. You're overdoing it? Well, I mean, if it's on the wall, it's on the wall. So, I'm assuming you can't be saying it's place it in the same spot but mirrored. But mirrored. You mean upside down? Because this is on the wall, so of course it's not going to move. 2 shelves into 1. Oh, you're saying because it can clip through itself. So you could have as much. I mean, for the experience gain, it's not really worth it if it's this. But it is interesting that it works that way. Hold on. It'd be what 16 experience for this much space. I'm kind of doubtful. Oh, we can even go below. Wow, that's interesting. Or are you saying? So does it have to be like this, or could it be like this? No. So it does have to be upside down. Okay. Let me see about this. So like this. Yeah. Then it's just 2 different shelves. Yeah, right. So, okay. Yeah, 16. The thing is, there are definitely, if we're just talking about for raw, I guess it's cool. You clip, it'll become 1. Yeah. It's cool. I do like the look of it as well. It's like a thicker board as well. So I kind of like that. I don't know exactly how I'd use it. I think it's more aesthetic than anything else because for the amount of space, maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's not bad if I compare it to shelves or something like that. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's not bad at all, actually. Monkey Madness. Yo, Valian, thanks for the gifted sub. Means a lot. Really appreciate that. Goes a long way. Also put the pips facing each other. It can become a lightning cover. Oh, wait. What if I did this? Can this phase through it or not really? No. Well, maybe. Hold on. Hold on. Why can't it go here? It's not even touching. Ooh, okay, wait, here's something.
Oh, now.
But then I bet it won't. Well, we'll check. Maybe. Won't allow me to do this. So it would allow me to do this, but it wouldn't allow me to do this. Okay. Tricky. But interesting. Huh. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It makes sense because the handles are... Okay, interesting, interesting. Frame around to house the light while covering the bulb but giving it glow. I found it was not able to move through the shelves, but through each other, so it could be a brace. A brace. You know, a brace might actually be what I need for this build. A brace might work. I also think probably that I'm not going to need this whole painting concept because... Sorry, monkey. Because the paintings are a little... I don't know. They're just... They're a little tall there. Maybe to here is okay. Oh, I kind of... What if instead of the whole... Yeah, what if instead of the whole painting idea, though it does look sort of interesting, I did the braces using that new concept. So where do I actually want to have it? This is up like this. I think that's not gonna be enough of a lean. Not quite enough of a lean for me. Where's my box? So maybe... Yeah, good point, Zephyrus. I do think it's a brace. I suppose they're always braces, but it's a more high-value brace for the same amount of space. Sorry for my terrible typing. It's so dang hot. Oh, Derek, you're good. You're good. Let me see. So then... Yeah, the idea now would be to see if I can't... Oh, gosh. Oh, you know, that kind of works. Maybe. Oh, okay, well. Okay, well. Well, there it goes. But I'm thinking... Oh, well, that's not exactly what I had in mind, bro. All right, give me this. Hold on. I'm thinking... Okay, gosh dang it. Okay, we're just going to scoop this out of the way. That it's going to have to be a little bit more leaning to get the angle right for what I'm going for. Nope, that's not what I clicked. All right. There you go. I need you to be a little bit more... All right. Okay, all right. A little bit more... It's so hard, bro. It's so hard. Oi, how's it going, Ghost Livy? Triangles. Yes, I want triangles. I was getting closer to a thing, but then I realized that where it was headed may not work. So maybe... Oh, okay, stop. Please rotate the right thing. Okay, there we go. So maybe something like this could work better. Would be a little bit more of an angle. I think... Yeah. Hold on. Let's kind of reset. Let's kind of reset this. So because the angle wasn't far... Okay, bro. I'm losing my mind. Stop. Why? All right. Hold on. It's fine. So I need large painting to go here. And I need these to be a little bit further in. Look at this beautiful work of art that I almost destroyed. It would have been horrible news. I need... Okay, where did it go? I just have too much stuff in here. Hold on. Go away. Go away. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. Get out of my house. I'm too cramped. Too cramped right now. No. No more. No more of you. All of it gone. Don't care. Alright. Nice. Bit hard to get the exact right angles. Yeah. I mean, it's also hard to stack things in this way in general. It's like, I've made some wacky builds in my time. Look at this thing, right? Like, I've made some kind of cool builds. I built outside. I've done some cool things in the game, but I just can't... With this, I just struggling. So where did I put? I need a new one of these. Yes. Yeah, nice to see you there, Ghost Levy. Have you played the game before? Grab this and try to bonk us down. I like the emote, by the way. What the heck? It's a cool one. Come on. So maybe as far as this, and I think now that I know that that's the case, let's scooch things around a little bit and try to do the same on this side. 990 HP. It should be. Let's see, you got anything in you? There you go. That's better. That's a little better. Look at this. I mean, I don't love the look of it. I was on a roll and then I was so tired, so I just finished it with these signs and crates, like a normie or whatever. But I had something real nice going here that I'll eventually fix this, move these out of the way, and have something cool. But it's very tightly packed all the way to the back wall. So that's some insanity, although that's min-maxing. I much prefer mostly to make builds that are more like this, or like the outside build, or I mean, I did make this upstairs, which I think is also decent. Like, it's not so min-maxy that it's just fitting everything as tight as it can. It's also got some style to it, you know. But still a little bit min-maxy. Also, Zephyros recently was pointing out that you can put multiple wall shelves inside of each other, though it seems like there's only so much use to it. But I have an idea for how I could use that maybe in the build, because multiple inside of it, like that's a pretty solid amount of, I guess it's an okay amount of experience at least. And it's like, what, 16 for the amount of space of a shelf, effectively. A little bit more than a shelf because you got the handles, but still, it's not terrible. So place you there. I want to see, can I place you here? Oh, come on now, you. I need power. I need so much more power. Okay, shuffle you into position. Not terrible. Then, yeah, I want to try to rebuild. I think what I had there was cool. So you place, although I might want to do it like this. Really making use of them as baseboards. Interesting. For lighting. Ooh. Okay, I need to flatten you here. Come on, come on. Tough thing about this is that, of course, it's going to want to move this. So a little bit of weird action there to get that into place. Same thing with this one. I want it flat like this. Come on. So the wall shelves are a bit tricky to use as good building material. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the wall shelves, yeah, they're... The nice thing about the wall shelves... Well, okay, hold on. Wall shelves can be used in cool ways. Let me show you this. So, like, I've got them set here. They allow me to extend up the height of these beds by a little bit, where the beds initially, while sitting on top of these, were too short, because your eyes are in around the center of your head, not the top of your head, or like near the top of the head, really very central. So what it means is that you don't go under things that you might think you should. So I have the wall shelves here on top of the beds, or like underneath the beds to support them. So it does work in some places, but I think a lot of the time with this kind of, like, I wouldn't really use them like this normally. For min-maxing, maybe it works, but like this right here is worth 6, and one of these wall shelves is worth 8, so comparative space-wise is not great on these, and I don't know if wall shelves enhance things on them. Maybe they do. Let me check. Hold. I don't even think they do. So compared to building with cogs, small paintings, large paintings, and signs, it's just not quite there. Let's see, scoot some. Oh, the back of the paintings is not as flat as I was imagining. If I have anything I can scoot this with, this might work fine. I want you to be a little bit more even. And this one. Then this one. All the way in the edge of this. Is that right? Yeah. Now this one. But yeah, I hope it sounds like you're interested, you're invested, and I appreciate that, because these builds are weird. That's why I said bit tricky. For some, the use is easy, and for others, the use is harder. Yeah, depending on the build, for sure. For sure. Let me grab this back up and go. I want you to scoot. Oh, that's nice, actually. That's a nice way to scoot. Little legs. Not bad. Keep it pretty even. Good. Pretty even. Now we use these. This might be dumb, but I like using variety. I can't help it. I want to see if I can get it to work with some variety. So there. So then we imagine boom to boom to boom, and then up. Can it go even more this way, or is this going to fall? It looks okay. Then this one as well. Okay. And you set as well. There. And then boom to boom to boom. Is that? It's not exactly. Wait, so where? Okay. Okay. Let's see. So we need to wheel you back a tiny, just a smidge. Like there. Good. And you're in place with this going here. Oops. Right there. Perfect. Ish. Now the cogs. The cogs go to there, to there. Then the next stage would be for them to go maybe around here. So if we imagine wall shelves... Okay. Now where are those wall shelves? They're here. And we do something like this. And then we do the fun little trick like so. Because I think incorporating it would be cool. And they do look good when you do that at least. So this. And then, good, it looks good, but will it work? So then to there, and then we hope to set it there and then set them against each other at the top. Is this enough? Or is this just not even close? Because it might be not even close, you know? It's anybody's guess. Set. Okay. There's some promise here. Rotation. The cogs be on the outside? Because they're not, the problem with the cogs is that they're physical, so they're going to mess with the stuff on the inside, have too much potential for failure. There. Same thing here. Okay. I like your emotes, by the way. Ghost Living, I really like those emotes. Did you make them yourself? Are you a streamery person, or just find some nice ones out there? Excellent. Oh, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? I don't know. Maybe if I can scooch it all in. Where's my? Okay, build a new one. Furniture, box, grab. Can I scooch ya? Do you mind if I just scooch it just a bit? A little bit of scooch action. Not bad. Hold on. I don't want to fly right now, game. I may have mastered flight in a prior experience, but I don't like it now. Not the time. Time and a place for flight. Time and a place. Oh, come on. I need you to fall into place. So maybe... Oh, no. Nope. I don't like that. Leading so well. It was all leading so well. What happened? Come on. Rotation. Set. Close enough. Maybe close enough. Maybe. Now you want the same shebang over here. Same kind of deal. Rotation, counter rotation, lower and set. Good. And same deal here. Triangles. Surely this will work. Surely triangles were designed to exist. The constant... Why? Why do you do this? Why must you be this way? Because the back part of it is not far enough back. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work for me. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Then... Also, is it even now? Oh, it's better. It's better. Yeah. A little more even. A little more evens. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, now it's... now it's in the opposite problem. But the opposite problem is much harder to fix. Unless I press this side, wedging the other way. Yeah. Oh, okay. I like it. Now, rest and shift. Rest and shift. Like this. Maybe like this. Grab some channels, though. The artist for some of the emotes is a streamer as well. If I'm not wrong, there are multiple artists for artist streamers. Oh, true. Yeah, artist streamers are always cool to see. I've watched quite a few art streams in my time. There's something about that vibe that's very nice. It's super casual. And they a lot of the time have some smooth music in the background, which I appreciate. There we go. Plus, it's kind of nice because you tend to be a little bit more open, a little more casual as well in what you talk about in those. I think that's because I'll notice streamers, when they're playing a game, they're very focused on the game, trying to get everything just right, or trying to battle, or get good moments and things like that. But then they do an art stream. I used to do thumbnail streams like this, and the topics start to go really haywire. I used to talk about just anything, philosophy, whatever. I would just kind of go on and on. And so then joining other streamers when they're doing art stuff was interesting. Because unlike a game, it's all... I used to have this idea in my head about this stuff. Proactive versus reactive streaming was my set of words for it. But the idea of trying to sort of find a moment in a game or in what you're doing versus trying to create it. And when you're gaming, a lot of the time there's just so much happening that you're always sort of reacting and finding a way to amplify what's going on, but not really generating what's going on, not really adding really that much as well in some cases. So with art streams, you have to be the one adding, but it can come from your art, so it's not like you're fully, not like you're doing all the work, but it is a nice thing. It makes you a little bit more conscious of what you're saying and doing. Oh my goodness. I hate this. Okay, I need you to set and fall, but I think it's not going to fall right because it's going to hit this and then it's going to go that way. It's going to rotate. So my concern with that feels valid. What can I do to not allow that? What can I do to not allow that? What if I could have something connect to the wall that was pushing outward? Is it possible? I don't actually know if that's possible or not. Let's try to test that. So for example, well, let's just take one off the wall and then do it. So maybe, okay. I need to press. I need to I need to press your edge somehow against it. Oh wait, like this. So set and pull and then press. One more time. So set, pull, yes. Nope, doesn't work. Doesn't work. So what else can I do to create a long, stable thing coming out? Decor, utilities. Pressure plate. Oh, that would be a disaster. Wall shelf. Is there a way? Is there a way to somehow hook something on here? I mean, a wall shelf could almost go between these bars. I don't know if that would work. I could wedge. I just need to. That wouldn't work. But is there some way? Is there some way that I could just wedge something to give me the extra length here? I think I've just got to build from the base up here. So, but it has to go over this part. So maybe it has to be from the edge of this painting, sitting upright. What would sit upright really well from the edge of a painting? Something. It'd have to be sturdy too. What if it was the leg of a bench sticking out? Oh my god! But then it's gonna be really. Oh, it's gonna be really tricky. So, well, hold on. Maybe not. Maybe not. So say I just carefully do this. Oh, you know what? To make it even more possible, for the time being, before, and I'll take this all out late. Well, can I take this out later without it all breaking? But let's say I had a painting here. Okay, careful. And I shuffle. I shuffle myself like so. Then I can flip. Okay. I can flip using the edge of this painting. I'm going to need these to be gone. Flip using the edge of this painting. Up. Set. And then I could push this into place. Oh my goodness. All the way over there, and then just the legs are what it ends up setting on. Ooh. Just the legs. Where do you actually have to go, though? You have to go... Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I've built wacky things, but this is a little different. Can you go? Adding something, I think it might make the top part a bit more stubby. Just wondering if I... So my thought right now is maybe... Okay. Maybe I can set it in here, and then it goes up, and I wedge it, or I push it to here, and the legs come out this far. They just need to go far enough to exactly line up there, and I don't know how likely that is, but it seems like it'd be great if I could. So maybe... Oh, how can I do this? How can I do this? So say... But it needs to be pointing... Oh! Alright. Needs to end up pointing the right way. Lower down, shift forward, wedge and up. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, this is so stupid. Of course, of course, of course. Okay. Okay, true. This makes sense. This was my concern. Back in place. And then set you back in place. Ooh. Makeshift boulder, that seems solid. Makeshift boulder. Yes. But how will it fit? How will it fit? Let me see if I can. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna need you to go back. You were unstabilized, you need to restabilize. You will go back and you will restabilize. Just so. Oop. Pull you back. Set on top and set and tilt. It got undone. It got undone. Okay. Okay. Come on. You set there. Maybe it's salvageable. All right, we'll pull it in. Put a rotation angle. Counter rotation. Set. Lower. Come on, bro. Come on. Set on top. Yes, lower. And drop. Okay, there we go. Close enough. Maybe close enough. Then, but how can I get this to happen with the bench? It just really doesn't want to happen. Okay, like this, and then shift it over. But it wants to it wants to pull itself the other way. Okay. Over. Just kind of walk it. Nope. Press it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Can you go? Or maybe if I go here and then I press crazy. Okay, good. And then can I shuffle? Oh, stop. Where are you grabbing right now? Where are you grabbing? Why are you grabbing there? I didn't tell you to grab there, bro. Okay, move this way, move out this way, and let it go. Good. Yeah. This is a very unstable concept. But if it was in the right spot, I do think it could be stable, and it could just be shuffled. It could be shuffled a tiny bit if I can get it there. Okay. I think it works in theory. Like this. Yes. Yes. How do I turn you? How do I turn you in? Maybe this. Scoot you out of the way. Grab this. Mm-hmm. All right. And then the rotation. Oh no. Oh. Okay, wait. Fine. Set. You use a light on the inside/underside of bench to move it. I think you could use most anything to move it. Light, the tough thing with a light is that there's very little surface area to work with, so it would only move this one or that one, and so if this one tips and this one's going, then it could just like kind of rotate over. And then also the front part of the light is especially sensitive, but absolutely you're on the right call that you want to using something to shift it with outside of just grabbing it yourself. And I think we're close. I think we're getting close. Tough thing now, okay, I need something thinner, small painting. This small painting here to rotate it into place with. I'm gonna do this. Light rotation. Oh. Okay, not too hard, or else it's gonna topple. Light rotation. Just a light little bit. Back up. Why? No, it was good. All right, well, hold on. Yeah, very, very sensitive. I need a box maybe on top of the legs once I get it in its spot, or else it's gonna topple. Oh, dude, I did not do that. I didn't do that. I'll go over there. There we go. All right, one side first. Don't worry about the other side yet. It's way too sensitive to worry about the other side yet. I'm just gonna shuffle it all off. Once, because I really only need, yeah, there's no reason not to do just one side first in my mind, because that gives me so much more space. This beautiful work of art, bro, it's like constantly here. All right, here we go. Flipping and twisting objects in many more ways would be good. Yeah, right now it's very much like rotation is entirely this. There's no y-axis rotation, and then each thing is tied to being down, which I think is actually good because I don't consider this like it's not like The Sims or a building game particularly. The building is meant to be used to enhance the rooms and stuff, and so it enables these really wacky ideas if you're willing to put in the work. Where if you just made it fully a building game, it's just sort of a completely different game. But at the same time, maybe if you made it that way, then it would allow people to come up with way more creative things as well. So I can see it either way. I've always pushed back just a little bit though on the idea that the game should transform its building into like the most convenient, most responsive building possible. Because with the most convenient, most responsive building possible, this would be like 60% less impressive of a build. It's crazy of a build. It would still be cool and inventive, but it wouldn't really be mechanically so absurd to build. But I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't be mechanically absurd to build, but I kind of do like. I like the sense of pride. I like the sense of joy in creation of something challenging. And there's a lot of beautiful builds you can make in the game without doing that kind of nonsense. I just, I just have something broken in my brain where where I see a vision and I must take advantage. Can I shuffle you into place? Please. Please. You must allow me this one favor. You must allow me this one favor, sir. Please. I need it. I need it. Just one little shuffle. A little bit of rotation. Oh my goodness. Okay. It needs to be very much touching like as far low as it can be so it's all stable on the shift. Okay. Yes. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, just move you into place. Move into place. And then I'll know exactly where I need to place the other one. And I can place it ahead of time before building any of the rest of this stuff. And I just have to be very cautious. Very cautious. So let's say it's here. Like, let's say it's here. It's a little shorter than I wanted. I don't know. A little shorter. Well, maybe I can place something on... Oh, I can place something on top, though. Okay, wait. What could I put on top of this? Imagine a large box. Well, would that be good? What about another bench? No, that wouldn't work. Let me think. Repo has elements to flip the items in any axis, and that's not a building game either. I'd say this is more of a building game due to the... Yeah, exactly. It's more of a building game where the building can have cool effects. I'm just saying, like as a comparison with Repo, I guess... Yeah, I guess you could... I don't really know. Repo's ability to rotate things is more so because Repo's combat is entirely dedicated to getting enough strength and just bonking enemies down. Where this game has a whole combat system. So I don't, like... I think Repo does have a reason to have it, but it's just because they don't really have combat in Repo. Okay, where do I want on top here? Maybe... No, I don't want the box in the middle, though. Once I take the... Like, at the end, if I get the box out and have it all still stand, it's going to be so gorgeous, dude. It's going to be so beautiful. So... I don't want the box here at the end, but I need something on top of this that can allow it to all fit into place. But yeah, like what I'm talking about is more so, not that them having good building mechanics is bad or would be bad because it's not a building game, because it has way more building elements than some other things, but more so that if you give players, like there's a lot of games that are beautiful because they're challenging, and a solution to that could be to remove all the challenge, but I don't know if that would make it better. And so like... But at the same time, maybe more creativity could exist with more building potential. But there's a lot of like building sim games that are so much less satisfying to build in because it's just as simple as I put this thing on the wall and then it's cool looking. And it's not as complicated as, well, if I want it to be really cool looking, I can do this. Because there's no such thing as challenge in those games. It's just cosmetic, which is fine because some people like to build up their room and make it look pretty. But I think the fact that there's so much challenge in this is kind of what makes it fun for me. So I don't know how well that would go to remove the challenge. I'm not sure if that would work for me. But maybe it wouldn't remove the challenge, just adding the y-axis. That might just enable more weird movement. And like more... But I was even thinking about this the other day. That my argument the other day as to why it might actually be good to add the y-axis would be because... But outside of just having mods that can use it, because maybe it would enable things like building something at an angle where it's just under constant weird pressure, but I can do that already. Because I was thinking about it at the time, I was like, you could do that, it'd be so cool. And I was like, well, actually, I bet I could do that. And that's why I'm doing this today, is because I had the thought of like, wait a second, there's probably a way I could make that happen. It just would be weird. What if you had a small plant on either one of these? No, that's stupid. Wait, no. I need something small enough that I can fit. What about a small table resting on top? It's a little bit too tall. Maybe it's a little too tall. But maybe I could just move the shelves up and it could be the right height. And then a small table could rest. But then what else is it resting on? One of the legs is resting here, but the other leg would not be resting here. If anything fell onto it, it would move instantly. It would destroy it. Unless maybe the two small tables are pressing against each other. Sims is the best example due to the possible building area. Yeah, exactly. Okay, the Sims is a good example where like it's building in the Sims in creative ways. Okay, you know what? I haven't played enough Sims to know. Is like being a master builder in the Sims, like in terms of being a challenging, cool event, really a thing, or is it more just that like it's because I feel like the Sims is a casual game. Like I don't know, like Stardew Valley maybe I don't know. Like there are certain games that are like Roller Coaster Tycoon has some wacky stuff in it where you can build some things in wacky ways. I don't know. I like the fact that these builds are crazy, and I wouldn't like them to not be crazy anymore. So it's a tough toss up for me. Can this go maybe an upside down table wedged into here, and then the legs are what it actually sits on. It's wedged underneath. Oh wait, but then how would I get the upside down table to fit into there? It's gonna be so fragile. I could, if I could build a tower, place the table onto it, flipping it, put it inside there, and wedge it in on top of this thing that's already so sensitive, though. I just don't know. Yeah, because I do consider The Sims to be a super casual game, but I know that there are people who play the heck out of it. But yeah, I don't know if the building is considered complex in that game. It might be. I need some way. I could flip it on. I could put large tables, flip it on the large tables, then shuffle it over using a box, setting it on and pushing it to the wall. How can I make you any more stables? Same as casual games, but there are some competitive builders. Yeah. Right. Think about that. Because my brain goes to like Minecraft, for example, has very simple but effective building mechanisms to it, but you can turn it into a super competitive thing. I just don't know. Yeah, I wonder how well that could work in a game like this. Where right now it already works in my mind is the thing. This is already so crazy to me. I love this building system right now, but for the convenience of other people, it's not great. It's just great for if you. Well, it's very convenient for basic builds for people that just want to play the game in a basic way, and it's very convenient for ridiculous builds for people who want to play it in a ridiculous way. But the gap between those two things might be hard. Where if you've not if you don't know how to make the ridiculous builds yet, and you don't want the tedious environment, but you still it doesn't allow you to have ridiculous builds without putting in the effort. And so like a game like The Sims, for example, you don't have to put in all that effort to make a build that looks insane. You can just kind of have it because it's a basic game or whatever. It's basic building mechanics. Or it's like easier. It's not as hard to do probably. But it could be, again, there could be examples where it's not like that, but I do think if you want to make something that looks really wacky in this game, it's going to take time and it's going to want to fall over most of the time. Shift you in there. Okay, these two here. My thought is, oh my god, this idea might be so dumb. Because any pressure going onto this build is going to be so bad for it. But my thought is that it'd be, or you know what? Maybe instead of even this, we do a series of big boxes. How well will this work? Could this work? Could this work for me? A series of big boxes, and then a second series of big boxes, and we shuffle it from the one to the other, so there's like more stability on the path. Game people make it competitive. Yeah, true. True. Can I shuffle this on? It might need one more. Oh, okay. I need one more big box. Oh my gosh, this is a bit ridiculous. What's this? I need... Maybe I shuffle it over if I can. And then this... Okay, this... I need you here. I don't know. It's just the height's a little wrong. I want to drop it onto here, but I want it to not knock everything over. Are these two things contradictory concepts? Yes. Yes, they are. And yet, I need to shuffle you. Can I shuffle you in a smidge? Ah. It all falls apart, bro. Okay. Man. Okay. Well, that's still in the right spot. It's not. We're not that far off. Let me see if I can fix it. So, how can I do this? How can I do this? What if I'm working in the wrong direction? So, like, let's say I flip it up there, because that's a stable spot, an alternative stable spot. So for it, luckily it didn't all fall apart there. It really could have. I can flip it up there. Come on. It wants to see what it wants to do is flip back over. It wants to like right itself. But if I could just flip it up here somehow. Okay. And then let it fall into this spot. My thought is that then this could land on top of the legs. Okay, so to do that, maybe we take you off. MC has a new music disc. I just looked at the disc. The music disc creator is Fingerspin. Name is Bounce. Cool. Let me see. I don't know. I can't say that I know anything about it, but new content is always good. Let's see if I can spin you. Let me see if I can. Let me spin you, please. Anything to spin you just this one time. I need you to go down. Okay. Come on. Wait. There's a chance? Yes. Okay, wait. Okay, so MC Master. Yeah, I know that. I wonder if I can let it fall. Okay, now it's in a spot where maybe I can let it fall and then fall, but I need to fall onto something to then shuffle it over and fall again. So it's right. It is upside down right now, which is what I wanted. I don't know if the thing is this height is not quite what I want, but maybe it could work anyway. What are you building? I'm so lost. Anthony Blaze, how are you? So a lot of my builds are either, I would say, very pretty and focused on that, very pragmatic and focused on that. So this is maximizing the room's amount of boost. Or they are some weird combination of the two like this. Or, I mean, there's also the outside build, which is a little bit ridiculous, but that's kind of what we're looking at. This build is, I would say it's kind of on the pretty side of things, but my goal is to build a triangle. So by having a triangle, the tough thing with the triangle is that you're trying to keep it constantly, it's constantly leaning on things. Aesthetic or chaos, yeah. Or just like, I guess the pragmatic side would be just maximizing a room's efficiency, so really tightening in, which also ends up looking a little bit crazy, but I get the stuff out of the front, it'll look really crazy. But this one with a triangle, yeah, this one's kind of a weird mix as well. I've never built a thing where the things are constantly leaning in this kind of way, trying to keep an angle. It's just a new bizarre route. So that's sort of what I'm up to right now. But how do I pull it off? So like, let's say I have this back this way. Ooh, and then place this into here. But yeah, the point of the build is to create a structure that is constantly wanting to fall over because every part of it is leaning, or at least this whole outside part is leaning, but it's stabilized by the things in the center. But I don't want the things in the center to be a bunch of boxes or a bunch of wall shelves shuffled in the right kind of triangle shape. I want them to be a little bit more unique than that, so I'm trying to figure out how best to do that as I go. It's challenging because any little move will put these out of place, which is not the easiest thing to work with, but I'm signing on to this, so I'm getting there. I'm getting something nice going. my wonderful triangle build. It was actually looking super smooth at the start, and then, I mean, it's, you know, it's still going, but... So here's my thought. Somehow I need to push this off and land it on top of these effectively, and then I need to push it back the other way. But I almost want the lip to catch onto this while this part stays here. So I can kind of shuffle this back like a chamber that I'm opening for it to fall, and then push it back in to make it line up in here. That's the vision. The problem is it's not perfectly lined up, and unfortunately with wall shelves... wait. Well, this might not work. Yes, it did. Okay, yes. So that removes the top part, so I can't actually shuffle it over now. So I had these top parts because it was actually 2 wall shelves in one. So what that'll allow me to do is shuffle it to the left using my small box. I will shuffle it to the left, and then I will let it drop. Okay. Yes, this is good. This is good. Yes, this is very good. And now I need to drop to here with it angling upwards so it's on this, then push it in to land it on top there without knocking everything over. Can I make that more likely for myself? Let's look for this wall shelf and see if... no, not quite. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It might be fine enough like this. Interesting. Yes, I do think so, Anthony Blaze. I do think so. I think it's probably never been done before. So I wanted to give it a try today because I had the thought the other day that it could work. But we will see. Okay. Shuffle you into position as much as you can be. Then I want to try to pull you off. Like that. Like this. Yes. Use my own shuffling movements. Just... let it drift off. Okay. Pretty close, not bad. Okay, then I need to just carefully do the same thing on this. So we just need to... gotta break the game's limits. That's what gaming is. Exactly. This is a little crazy, but... Okay, yes. Yes. I'm glad you're here for it. Because I know this one, compared to some of my other builds, which were conceptually a bit more sound, this one's kind of wacky. But I think it could work. Okay, set you there. Problem. This is not good. But maybe because the upper thing it's leaning on is fine, I can somehow lift it up while pressing against that. Then... allow it to drop forward. Nope. Okay. New idea. I need to force it in there. Oh my goodness. How could this happen? Okay. I need to somehow force it onto there. It's tough though. Can I lift it up this way? Don't know. I should have put these closer. Put them a little closer so it didn't have a chance of this. I didn't see this coming. Well, I don't want you to push that box that way. That's not at all close to what I was doing there. Okay. Is grabbing this just going to topple everything? Not necessarily. So lower. I can't lower because... Okay, we let it fall. I can't lower because this box is in the way. Yeah. I was thinking it could lower, but okay, that's fine. So now I move this into here. We get it much closer this time, much closer. That even could work. And then, one more time with this table situation, we flip it up, let it rest, then pressure, shift. Very nice. Then I want to let it drop onto this carefully. Move you into place as well, carefully as well. And even place another box, maybe like this. Let this drop onto here, shuffle back a little bit, then fall into this, then push in. It's close. The right idea, I think. Oh boy. All right. Okay. So it needs to come forward. How does increased HP affect the gameplay, or does the gameplay loop stay the same? It means that while I'm down there fighting enemies, I don't have to worry as much about my health. What I really wanted from it was something different, though, which I'll explain in a sec more properly. Oh my god. Okay, so what I really wanted from increased HP was this vision that I had. Building outside is something you cannot do because you catch fire and you burn. And so there's a constant burning that happened while I was creating this structure at about 270 HP. I thought, okay, give me 1,000 HP, I create the craziest monster tower outside. I don't even worry about health. Unfortunately, with more HP comes faster burn to a pretty similar level to where you burn about as quickly if you just graze your HP. So that side of it, unfortunately, did not work out. I was able to build this, which is a little crazy, but that's about as far as I think I'm going to be able to go in terms of outside builds, is something of this level. Okay, then. But what it still means for me is that when I go down into the pits, outside of traps, there's like a couple things, traps and falling down pits, you can fully die from one hit of those. But outside of that, like enemy attacking you, the enemies do get stronger the deeper you go, so eventually they'll catch up to my health. But it means that for the first at least 50 floors, I'm feeling pretty invincible. Again, outside of traps, like there's things I have to worry about, but a lot less than most runners would. All right, so here's my thought now. I've created what I'm going to call a valve or a system to allow me to just slow drop this in. I do think it should be all the way to the edge. I didn't realize I had this much space I had to get to. So I think if I could shuffle it a little bit to the left, that'd be great, though I might not be able to now. It might be too late. That's not bad, actually. And then I want to let it drop. Oh, that's really not bad. Okay. I like it. So then, okay, back up. I need this out of the way. Back up. Shuffle this a little forward. Nice. Then I want to sort of release the pressure, release the valve, let it drop onto the box below just a bit. Good. Would like it to come forward more, but okay, not terrible. Leave this here as a stabilizer in case. Come on, I just need you to come forward enough. I just set this and press a little. Hopefully it doesn't knock the boxes down, but okay. Set that there. Tricky. Oh, and then now the light idea. Someone did mention light before. I think this is where I actually could use it. Is that there's nothing else that really fits between here. Need something to allow me to get... Okay, this is a risky proposition. Let's get rid of this light in here. Or use this light in here. To give it a little lift. Because right now it's just wedging, unfortunately. Wedging too much. Okay. Maybe press on this, yep, and then... Yep. Little more. Okay. Oh, perfect. Now. Okay. I don't actually... Well, you know what? Maybe I don't need the shelf anymore. So maybe we remove the shelf. We push this up and on. But how will I get this one onto the other side? So the HP scales with the burning strength. Yeah. Or the... Yeah. The burning skill. Yeah. What is this? Yo, Josh. Oh, it's hard to explain at this point. Right now I'm making a build. Have you played this game? Are you familiar with this game? If you're not, have you ever played Repo, anything like that? And any Extraction, Looter, Repo, Lethal Company, Headliners, Content Warning, any of those games? Because if you have, or you're familiar with them, this is that style of game, except you add in that if you build things within the base, each room you build into, you get upgrades into that room to allow you to go back down and battle more. And so I'm building builds within rooms, but my builds are ridiculous because I'm in the post game essentially. So I've done most of what you can do in the game outside of just pushing pure floors, like just pushing deeper and deeper into the game, battling. So now I'm shifting more into the builds and I'm making some crazy stuff. So this isn't bad. So one problem I can see for myself is that maybe I can destroy this shelf, push this up and on. We have table legs to support ourselves with, which is kind of awesome. But on the downside, how am I going to get the other table up there if I don't have a shelf to use? Maybe I could build the shelf further to the right, though. It wouldn't matter. Yeah, maybe that's fine. So I am feeling like, oh, I've also got to be cautious with this box first, or else it'll fall on top of everything. Then I can break this, push... We're fine, yes. Break this, push the table onto the bench. Oh, please. And then... Alright. I need you to be... Ooh! Onto the bench. Up. Oh, it's gonna be barely... Okay, yes. I'm stepping on stuff, so be careful with that. Good. Alright. So, table on bench. Not bad. Not bad at all. Ultimately, I'm gonna need... Come on. Okay, fine. No, what were you leaning so much for? What's your excuse? All right, well, that's tough. Why did you do that to me? That's fine. So, that sucks. All right, hold on. But, okay, I mean, I have the framework for it. Why were you leaning so far? It was so good. So... We have the framework. I think actually what might make the most sense now then is to place down the other bench and the sort of the structure around it so that I can place the thing up higher, let it drop down, then delete the thing all at once. So where's my bench? So maybe that could work. I'm gonna need to break a lot of though. Dang. Luck. Move you off to the side a bit. Like this. But I'm trying to build in a triangle shape, which is proving quite difficult. I do think I could do it easier in other ways, but I think that this is going to look so beautiful if I can get it right. So it is what it is. Let's see. Oh my god. Don't do that. Rotation, counter rotation, little press forward, flip up, and just a set. And then I can... every once in a while checking my beautiful build to make sure it doesn't get destroyed. It's so close to everything I'm building here. I should not have built in this room. But what can you do? What can you do? Too late now. You cannot go back. Alright. Lower and set if you wouldn't mind. Just lower, yep, and set. Excellent. Good. Now, should I do 2 boxes or is 1 box maybe enough and then they just push either side of it? That might be fine. I think it should be fine because the box is pretty well centered. So I just want to get it into place, wedging against that box. Yeah, like so. And then we're kind of building around that. How well, okay, this should also be a little bit pushed in. This is actually so nice though. I'm so worried about it all falling apart eventually, but that is part of the joy of creation, is that we're going to have a couple resets potentially, but maybe not on this. I mean, it's not bad right now. But on my crazy build, oh, my best build, I had to reset twice at the very end. It was so rough. All right. That's so beautiful now. All right, where do I go here? So there, not bad. That's not bad. Then the build is the bar stool, which is this way, place, and kind of all the way, I would say, up against this. Don't suddenly get pulled, but I want you to be smoothly against this. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like just against it. That's pretty good. Nice. Creation is as fun as destruction. Well, okay, let me show you this. I think you haven't seen this yet, a Ghost of Levi, so I will show you this because I think it's really something. So this build, hold on, pause here. Okay, make sure that's okay. We're fine. So this build here is my greatest build. It's my magnum opus. I built it a few days ago, and what makes it so incredible is that you have a 3x3 by 12 to 15 plants with, on top of that, the upside down tables, which you've seen sort of how those behave. They like to, you do this to get them upside down, then push something else with them. But if you were to try to pick one up, It wants to right itself, so it's very dangerous. I built crates around that to allow myself to move them on, as you've kind of seen me doing so far. Move them into position with another crate such as this one, and push them on. Then on top of that, I place another set of tables directly on top, and you can see that the legs are not always positioned the same way. So you have to correct for that. Then on top of that, I placed the beds initially, but that didn't work out because it was too short. So I put wall shelves on top of that and then the beds. Now, the problem with the wall shelves is that there are 2 points of contact. So unlike when they're positioned against the wall, these ones, as they're just floating wall shelves, essentially, these ones are, they have gravity sort of really affecting them. So if I place the bed a little too far to the left, a little too far to the right, those 2 points of contact mean that the bed will tip left or tip right. And on top of all of that, I have 3 stacks of paintings high. Or sorry, I should say plants high. And it's definitely a situation. Now, in the process of building that all, I had a couple interesting experiences, but I would say this one is the one I've shown the most, and that I'm the most, I would say it's the most wowing. It's pretty insane. So let me turn on the audio here and pull it up here. So as I'm placing down at the very end of all of that, I've done it all, and I'm placing all of these plants down, mini plants, stack by stack. I'm on the third way up, a third stack up. I click one extra time as I'm trying to place it down. I punch one of the plants, and catastrophically,
wow,
the entire thing collapses.
Wow.
And so it is, it is a joy of creation, but it also is, it's tough. It's tough at times, and I've left this as my memento to that. But yeah, just gonna show you that real fast because I am dedicated. I did end up going back and I did end up finishing the build, and it's so beautiful. But that was tough. That's unfortunate. Yes, it was very unfortunate. It happened twice to me. One time with that, and one time with picking up a plant and setting it. But when I picked up the plant, there's like this little motion that happens as you're picking a thing up, and that was enough to topple all of it. A little tough. But what can you do? Let's see. We have all this in place. I am. I've been dedicated here. I must make these creations, but it's sometimes it's just tough. It's just tough. Okay, let's see. Shuffle you in. But that was definitely the biggest fall I've experienced in the game. Place you there, and then on top we place the. Let's see where you are. We place the flower pot plant, but it was actually really cool though. Hitting motion to pick up the item. Yes. Yes. Yeah, like a little shuffle as soon as you pick up. I think I grabbed this, which could have been terrible. Because that also doesn't like to be flat down. It wants to fling up. But yes, it is spooky. Let me see. What was I saying with that? So place this into here. I've made some pretty impressive builds though over time here. You there? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that at the time it was really interesting because I had a good number in with me I made a prediction for whether or not it would go right and everything. Like the end of that build, that other build over there, I had so many people that were just on the edge of their seat, and they were saying they were all saying sort of I just can't believe that I'm this invested in you putting potted plants just setting potted plants down. Like I'm this invested because at any point every time I'm placing one I'm thinking, please please don't fall, please don't fall. I was so terrified I would move the wrong way, I would set something the wrong way. Like that build was so sensitive. It was by the end it was probably 6 to 7 hours, somewhere in that range of a build. So it was a very it's a very invested one with a lot of easy ways it could have fallen apart. But most builds that I make are not, I've never made another build I wouldn't say that was that insane, that sensitive for being that far in. That build was probably 8 hours altogether, but it's not as sensitive. There's some ways it becomes sensitive, but nowhere near as sensitive as the other. So placing all this, so we have these, honestly, wow. the recreation of this side, that's the thing with this is, once you've done it one time, you sort of know the process. So the recreation of this side was not nearly as tough as the other. We'll see how it goes at the end, especially, though. Shouldn't that pop you the way around? Yes, you make a good point. Make a great point, because I need the signs to be able to land on it. You make a very good point. Let me see, so let's just shuffle you and set. There we go. Ah, perfect. Thank you very much. So swing this up, and then we hope to... I suppose first I should put the tables on. It's going to be a little tough, but I think put the left table on... Oh, how am I doing this? Yeah, it's so sensitive. This part's the most sensitive part of this build, and I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it this way. My thought is the table legs would sit there and they'd be upright, and then I set the sign on top of them, but it is going to be a very sensitive position. I could probably manage. So, bring it a little higher, maybe. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. And I want you very close in. Ooh, careful with that. That's fine, maybe. It's fine-ish. I'll fix it after. Not a big deal. And then, okay. Yeah, I'll fix it after. Set that there. We want it to fall this way and then fall back the other way. Success or fail. I think the investment is worth now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time, and I'm learning from it for sure. Right, let me see. But but I do want it to, because the thing is though that the success, like the other one, I failed. It fails twice, and then I succeed ultimately. That is super satisfying. If I don't succeed at all, I would say it'd be a lot less satisfying. I do desire the outcome a good amount, because now I can point to it anytime I want and say this is the most incredible thing I've ever made. And I think that may have ever been made in the game. So that is, there's at least that. I get to have that even if it fails a few times. So, all right. So we get the table up there, then we topple this way, then topple that way. Then, ideally that's all I need. Oh, right. But then I'm also going to want to break the shelf. And if I have two of them at the same time going on the shelf, it might be a risky endeavor. We'll see. So how am I going to flip this now that there is also this bench here? It might still work more or less the same way, but there's less space to work with for sure. Okay. Nope, not great. How can I do this? Can I get it even below? Bench it. Nope. Nope. I see what's happening. I'm not interested. Wait, yeah, that's good. Okay, there's one. Potentially. Yes. Okay, there's one. Oh, it wants to yank this. I can see that. I saw it happening before it happened, thank goodness, but it really wanted to yank. So now we do a little shuffle action. Little light shuffling action. Luckily, I've used tables this way before. Not exactly, but as close as one could get, I guess, considering. I know a little bit of how to do this, but I've never done it like this. I've only ever done it on top of the front desk, and so I had a lot more space to work with. This is a much more sensitive operation. Nope. Okay, how? Okay, that's not the end of the world. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. All right. Come on. My other build. It's so weird to have multiple high-quality builds in one spot. This is my first time having two in a room. There's so much risk involved. Yes. Oh, okay. Take it easy. Yep. Build is not impossible, then it would not be worth to finish the build. Yeah. There's a point. There's a point where it's like, but if I can make it happen, I will. So now I need to, honestly, okay, that lowers onto here. I do think it's fine, or better even. Almost did an oopsie. Yeah, that was scary to see. Because here's the thing, I don't ever build with lanterns, so that lantern right there, if that catches on fire, it does burn everything in a certain radius of itself. So let me kind of show you what that radius looks like real fast, so you can get an idea of how dangerous lanterns are. Okay, let me kind of carefully do it still, because I do have other things in here that I'm... Okay. So it gives this sort of wide radius here, which is big enough, I think it would destroy everything there. So that one lantern in the center is, if it took enough damage or got knocked over somehow, would burn everything in that whole box and behind. So it's spooky. Like if the tables were to collapse, I think the pressure probably would be enough. All right, so what I need now is just to line us all up here. Line us tech tips. All up into this spot, if I could. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 behind. And then I think this could work. Place. Because it's just the lever situation I had before, but twice. So I don't see why not. I'm just gonna have to break. It's just gonna be very spooky when I have to break that. Because most of the items are wood. Yeah, the fire would burn it all away. Okay. Just gonna shuffle you off and place it manual. Maybe that will work, but okay, hold on. Let me see about this. Oh, yeah, don't punch, bro. I know where punching can get me. So now we have that, and everything is sort of leaning on itself in a way that makes me very uncomfortable, but actually, what if I could let it fall? Is that the dumbest idea ever? But what if I just broke this and then the tables fall direct? No. That wouldn't work because they would just topple off the back, wouldn't they? But if I could shuffle them to the edges to where they would land correctly, perhaps because this is pretty wedged in here, or wedged enough, it could work. Maybe. So let's try one of these. We have our bar stool. Jump up and crouch. And then, so where do I need it to land? You know what? If I'm gonna do it that way, I probably don't need these boxes here. So I will shuffle them out of the way a bit. Scrap is any material with no value, possible to reuse and restructure. Yes, it's very dangerous. This world is so dangerous for me. This world is so dangerous for me right now. Let's go with, this time I will use the lights because, I mean, the lights don't really push as well as some things, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it for this, I believe. Just shuffle you a little this way. Set you on the wall, because I can place them easily here. You're gonna have to go further in, but also this one is going to have to go further to the right. Can I? No, but maybe on the inside of the table. We set it all the way to the... Oh. Okay, how about this? What about like this? And to the right? Can't quite do it. Can't quite get you to fit. What about like this? Okay. Okay. What about like this? And then like this? Shuffle. Good. Rotation. Onto wall. So that I want to fall direct onto this. It's gonna need to be more to the right. I should have honestly placed 2 down so I could do it in 2. I didn't consider this. Because yeah, it would be very possible to do. Okay, so is that enough? I feel like just a little more. So we can land more center. Okay. My life flashing before my eyes, my very eyes. Rotation. To repair this table, but that's fine. I feel like it can't go much more to the right without tipping off this. So maybe I do need to build real fast another one. So, although if I build another one, no, it can go a little further. Because if I build another one, I'm going to have to break both at the same time somehow, which is not possible. I think for this one, using a box would be dangerous for the build, and the lamp being useful for item to push with. Yeah, the box would be too dangerous, especially because I'm trying to get between these two spots here, and it's very fragile. That's not bad. much closer. If I could go a little closer, and I might be able to now because I can go from this side. Maybe I can. Can it fit? Yes. Okay. A little shift. Okay, perfect. So now, oh, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. And then I want to correct it a little bit with this. Okay, perfect. Good. Now the other side. How's the other side look? This side needs to come in. Of course it does. Of course you do. So we just scooch ya. Scooch. How's that? How is that? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Maybe a little bit more. Scooch. And then push them both in, and then I think I can drop them. Is this dumb? Is dropping these going to be a major mistake? I don't know. I mean, I don't love it, but it might be fine. So, I mean, I could place another shelf below, and then drop them again. It's a pretty big fall. So maybe we do like one shelf right here. Do you think this is bad? Maybe this is a better call. One shelf right here, and then we just drop down one layer at a time. And I can stand here so that as it's falling, it's not going to fall forward as much. Okay, one of them worked. One of them definitely didn't. Which kind of makes sense because there was limited supply of space on that end. But one of them worked. Okay. So I could set this one in place pretty easy, but I do think it'd be good to... You know, this might work. Oh my gosh, this is crazy, bro. The amount of space is not good. Topple. Set. Oh my gosh. That worked so much better than it should have. All right. You. Come on back. And now the amount of distance is so much lower than it was. Okay. Let me see. So... Yes. Okay, perfection there. Rotation over. Get you into place as well if I can. Oh. Come on. All the way in. Nice. Set. All right. Just over top. I'm gonna fall forward if I do this. I think a little bit to the left. Whew. Yeah. That worked. That all worked out surprisingly well. Shuffle. Not bad. Yeah, this might be good. This might be perfect. Stand pretty close. Come on. It's so... Okay. I think it's right. They're going to lean on these tables. If I can get them a little more in the center, it would be better, but I don't know if I can do that or not. Like, if I can go a little bit more in center, then I think that the table legs will be in a better spot because they're going to go to about here, and this is going to land on them. It's not going to be quite right. So I think I'm going to need them a little more towards center, maybe even touching, which would be a cool visual at least. And it might save the build. Have them be just a bit more centered. Hold on. So there might be right. That might be right. And then similarly here, wedge you in a little. Hold on. This might not be as bad, but it's hard to tell because I don't have it all the way up. But maybe there to there, like that might be close, right? Getting a recoil would be bad. Okay, let me see. Like this. Okay. Oh, I can't hit the thing now. Oh, come on. Okay, hold on. Give me my glue. Where's my glue? My glue. Where'd I leave you? I think I've got a bunch of glue downstairs. Downstairs is this way. All right, give me the glue. And then let's do this. Oh, wait, hold on. Grab the glue. Oh, crap. Jump, crouch, uncrouch. I'm gonna need you to go all up and in this. Okay. not the bench. Good. Toss you over here. Nice. Come on. It's... I just... No! I just want to punch it. Okay, this is a little bit too far to the left. Okay, I'm going to shuffle in from this side, but how am I going to break this table? Maybe I break it... I don't want to break it from that side, though, because I want to be in the way to stop it from falling apart. Alright, I could break it here. Or I could break it over here. Well, maybe over here, but especially here. But then it's just going to fall, and we're going to hope, I guess. Alright. Okay. Okay. Now carefully consider exactly how we do this. I can push a little to the left on here, which should be somewhat stable as long as I don't apply too much pressure. I can centralize this one with a front push. Those are my two objectives. Yeah, solid. Could have gone immensely worse. It went okay. Just a gentle tap. Wow. Wow. I mean, okay. I mean, all right. I don't want to fall behind this. The thing is, anytime I'm picking up this light and I'm walking backwards, I'm worried I'm going to fall down and the light's going to bring down and smash things here and just ruin the whole thing. Okay, well, same thing here as well. Let's go like this instead then. Keep that in mind. Okay. Quite good. Now, a little more straightening out of this would be good, but this one's pretty much perfect. Okay, all right. A little bit more straightening of this. Very much room for this all to fall apart. Yes, okay. Yes, I like it. But this is a major step. All right. Now, okay, hold on. I gotta clear some room here. Clear a little bit of room. There is physical entity going on when it comes to these scraps, but they don't seem to impact things a ton, just a little bit, so it's okay. How did you get over here? Oh my gosh. So this thing should have been... Wait, where even was this? I figured this was underneath, but I've still got the telephones in there, so... I don't even know where I had you before. Maybe back here somewhere? Alright. 2 tables on top there. This onto here. Lean the things this way. Hopefully they rest then on there. Back far enough that I'm not grabbing too aggressively and pressing, because there's only so close to your body that, so for example like this, there's only so close to your body that your arms can be before they have to push outward in order to have extra space. So like if I grab something, I can't bring it any closer than this, and I can only push it so far as well. But if it's closer than this, then it's gonna apply pressure. That's I don't want. It's gonna. You can actually fly by. Well, I don't want to do it here, but you know what I mean. I could fly by pressing this into the ground, and then it's sort of we're pushing off of each other to send me upward. So yeah, a lot of caution with positioning for sure. Scoot you. All right. Oh my God, it's crazy. That's all right. Lift. I want to set you here and let you drop. Nope. Maybe a little counter rotation. Let's bring it in and really set. Good. If there's no massive finagling, then it should be possible and balanced. That's my hope. I mean, I think me resting on these, which are already fairly unstable as a whole, but I think we're very close to it, potentially. I should do this one first because it's the much more stable side from my perspective. And I think I should also give myself a little bit of a leg up here so that it's easier to do. So let's do a couple crates. Okay. And then just see what we can manage. Maybe just one crate, actually. Is this stable? Alright, third layer might be a little bit less stable on the cog end as well. We'll see. But in theory, because it is another layer, it's pressing on all the prior layers. I don't want to push it too far, but I also want to give the legs of the table as little drop as I can. So kind of somewhere between those two objectives is the end design that I want. Okay. Oh, you know, it's a triangle of sorts. Sort of a ramp. All right, okay. Do you think grabbing this and moving it to the left would undo anything or be a problem? Okay, no, it seemed okay. It seemed fine. Bring a little bit more of the proper triangle look that we're going for. Move you along. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with whatever this turns into as long as I can get a tip on it. Top situation. Oh, it's very good. It's very good. Let's now do this. Coming together. Set you. Another one. And the third is where things get potentially dangerous. I could tell it was pretty sensitive on my placement when it came to the signs, the cogs, not to mention the table. Good. Ooh. Once again, yeah, we land in this weird spot. Now give me 2 balance on. We know it's possible now, at least up to this point. Then I have to figure out the next tier. I'd almost like to just lean on top of each other. Regular triangle, still triangle. Yes, exactly. Something above me. Okay. Jump, crouch, uncrouch, grab. Okay, yeah, it's very sensitive. This part is very sensitive. 2 distinct reasons. Yet, come on, you can do it. Scroll out once. Scroll out twice. Finding the exact rotation is tough. Now, once again, just a little bit of movement from this. Oh, okay, okay, all right. Our problem arises. What can I put in the center to allow them both to set on it and not each other? Because there's no shot, right? Unless, wait a second, we set it on something like that, then we break the thing and they... It'd be so good, it'd be so good. But how long are they? Like how high up do I need this thing to be? Let's see here. Like, let's say I had it right around here, and we set it on top from either side. Is this wide enough to hold, though? I don't know about that, because I would need something to hold it somehow, because that's the whole reason I had to do these legs. The table legs. Imagine a small table resting in these 2 spots, securing the 2 tables, but also providing a platform for something to hold these at the top. That's a beautiful thought. What a beautiful thought this guy's just had. Will it go astray? My guess is as good as mine. But in theory, it shouldn't. In theory, this should be a pretty stable concept. But in practice, it might just rest on top of these legs and not actually rest on... Oh, which might be horrible. I want to set it without applying any pressure and without dropping it at all. And it has to be in the perfectly right position as well for both. Oh, okay. Okay. So, okay. Now, somehow, the tip in place on top, something that goes on top of this table. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. Do you think that once I have it done, I can break this box? I think I might not be able to. I think legitimately this box is now, this is now just going to be a part of the build, because Or like remove the box with careful sliding, but I just don't think so. Right. So what do we do here? We're gonna need... I might try it, I might not. I mean, I might try just touching it and seeing if everything falls apart. And if it seems like it's gonna move, then I know what my answer is, because it's still a fantastic build with a box there, but without, it becomes just something so crazy. Okay, but what goes on top of this table? Yo, Kip. What do you mean always up to something, Kip? What are you talking about? Look at this gosh dang build, Kip. Look at this gosh dang build, you wouldn't believe it. It's benches on their sides. You know how hard benches are to get on their sides? They want to flip so many wrong ways to get right side up again. They want to flip this way, and they want to flip like this way to get themselves properly set. We've got bar stools on either side, on top of which are paintings with flower pots on them. The whole goal, the whole reason for the absurdity, to create a triangle in a game of squares. I mean, honestly, the craziest part might actually be these upside down tables with the table. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This was so hard to get up here. Getting tables up this high with no stable environment. Besides, I used wall shelves to try to make it happen, but oof. Now, the drop should be balanced as well, or the tip will collapse on each other, probably dragging down one side. True. It's going to have to set very close to center and then break and just lightly tap in. Oh, and it's going to be so centered at that point as well. But yeah, I'm going to need it. I'm going to need something to perch you on. Because I really need this triangle. It's got to be stable. Big plant. I just don't see big plants here. What about a series of cogs or something, like a series of paintings upright here for them to land on, and then I break one painting at a time or remove one painting at a time? But that removal is just going to be a drag that pulls everything, so it's not going to work if I remove it. It's going to have to be broken or pulled very carefully, I guess. I mean, there is the concept of that wall shelf idea, but turned this way. Oh, there's not enough space. Could I make there be enough space? No, it's just way too tall. Unless the top lands on, like, let's say something like this on either side. High as it'll go. And the top of either, I don't know if this would work. The top of either kind of lands into this cubby. But it'd have to be so precise for that to work. I don't know if it would work. Also, when they touch, these are not quite the same height, so I'm going to need a second stabilizing factor, I think. Like the wall light, for example. Or something like it. Just something to secure this. What would work? A small painting upright so that when they collide, there's this little extra wiggle in the middle. And then I have to break the small painting, though. That's the real issue. But maybe it could work. So we have kind of a double situation going. One, the small painting. Two, that up there. Could that happen for me? This idea is so... It's just so risky. There's so many things I'm trying to utilize that I've never used before in this way. I think the wall shelf is a bust. But I also think the small painting doesn't work without something to stabilize alongside it. I mean, multiple small paintings was an idea, but I just don't know. Wow, this became so much more complicated. This ending part became so much more complicated. So... Gosh. How does this wedge in? How does this fit? How's my theory? How's my driving? Just say... Yeah, because this would be here. Oh boy. So it's looking to me like it's gonna have to be somehow at an angle already. Like, how would I even do this? Or maybe I use something else to create the tip of the triangle here. Like, I could instead potentially Appreciate that, Vetris. Appreciate it very much. I could instead potentially use a different building material on the end. Like, we kind of go opposite order with a final creation. Like, build something on top of this central painting that leans either way to allow it to create the triangle effect without actually cogwheeling the end. Because the end cogwheel just, I think it's just not well, I don't see it, at least. I don't see how it works. Move this out of the way. Painting. It's some way for this to work. Or, like, let's say, oh, this idea is so dumb, but like, let's say, for example, I could set paintings in this way on top. Okay. And then I could push them to create a tip here. And then on top of this tip that's already created and semi-stabilized, I think it'd be a little bit more in. I could then lay on top of that stabilized tip, replace the cogwheel art. So it's leaning on something a little bit more solid. I'm gonna have to knock them over with a box or with a light or something to set. Hold on. Designer's dream, architect nightmare? Architect's nightmare, yeah. It's genuinely so gorgeous. Is this a bad idea? So, these three, the two on either side, tip and set, and once they're in on a smaller scale, then the larger scale thing, I might even be able to set it here without it knocking everything over, but that extra gravity going left or right might be too strong. I don't know if that... Well, wait. And then we stabilize the pictures using the light for one final layer of safety. Maybe. So what I would do... Okay. So what I would do then is I back up, and the paintings actually are a little bit further out, so that I can have the light sort of behind. Like, kind of behind, so that when the paintings do shuffle back, they'll have a catch that works for them. Like this. Oh, wait, actually... Okay. Then forward... And then the catch exists here, where if they shuffle back, they'll touch this. Yeah. They'll touch the... Oh! What? It's a painting. It's just a paint. It doesn't even weigh anything. Okay. Lights on either end. Wait. First, I have to pull you out. I didn't realize how sensitive this was. Okay. I'm gonna need lights on either side, so that I can... Okay. So that I can tip one over. It'll bump against its light spot and not topple. Ideally. Ideally. Okay. It's all very much in theory. It's all game theory right now. So say, for example... Well, but the thing is, if I tip this one over, then this one's going to want to topple this way. So how can I tip both at the same time? Clara, all right? I can't do the... I'm learning. I'm trying to learn the rolling tongue thing, because you were doing it in your stream. I was like, oh, that's cool. But how is rotting the grain? So look at the beautiful creation I'm making right now, because we may never have a chance to see it again in its full, almost finished glory. So look at it right here. What we have in front of ourselves right here. That was great. Well, I appreciate it. What we have right here is a triangle in the square game. I've got these signs on either side, these cogwheel art going on either side, going up. I've got benches angled on their sides with tables set on top upside down. It's very hard to do because everything wants to right itself and flip itself into the right position if you ever click or grab it. So I had to get them flipped up, then move them into position in terms of the benches, place these against them sort of so they're a little stabilized with the paintings on top of these, because these are all metal piping, so there's not an easy way to set something on it unless you put tables on here to sort of create a platform for then these to go on. Then all this is leaning on all of that. We get up to here, and I had to make wall shelves above to flip these upside down and then drop them off of to land on top of the benches, to then put another table on top of that because it creates a platform for it. Put the lights onto here. I'm so close. I'm so close, Clara. It's very close. But then what I need to do is somehow... my thought was, okay, well, here's something I could do is I can knock this over, and then we have a triangle on top. But I think what's going to happen is we knock one over, it's like dominoes, the whole thing tilts this way. How am I going to position it? They're both knocked over. And I'm noticing when I pick up a painting and set it down, even with a tiniest bit of drop, the whole thing shudders. It's like, this is, oh, that was some weight. Okay, we can handle it. But just nothing like that again. Every time I just shuffle anything over a little. So how am I going to knock this over without the whole thing collapsing? But maybe it's more stable than I'd imagine. I've got a lot of stabilization going. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. So anyway, there you go. There's your sort of breakdown of what's going on here. It's close to something beautiful, but it might just collapse. It very well might just collapse on the next move. Yeah, great to see you. Great to see you. I love having you in. Crouch here, and then can I... oh my goodness. Can I do this? So here's my thought. If it is going to work, what I need to do is topple it one way, then counter push it the other way until it's somewhat centered on top. Then I place a thing on top and let it fall one way. It's probably going to retopple it. Then I try to put it back to wedge in the middle, do the other one, let it fall on top, and reposition. But no idea how this game works, but it's looking good. Thank you very much. I think it's going to collapse. I think this, honestly, the tough thing is this might just be the best I'm going to get in terms of a triangle, because... I don't know how I'm expecting this to work. How am I even going to set a thing on top of here that's this big? It's too high up for the ceiling right now. So we're in a weird spot for sure. But thank you. It may be, if it completes and is successful, it's up there with my best builds, no doubt. But yeah, this premise is what's spooking me. Honestly, if I, you know what, here's what we're going to do. If I can get this somehow to rest as a point at the top, then this will be my point. I will not put stuff above, because this is successfully a triangle at that point, I think. Oh my goodness. So concerned, bro. Wait. So that opens up something for us. Both sides will lean in a tiny bit. We've created a lean without it falling. I don't even know what's happening to it. I don't know how it's not... I don't know how that's even... how is that possible? Okay, there's some stuff I have to learn about leaning and positioning in this game, clearly, because how in the world are you leaning without falling either direction? Probably you're somehow touching the light to provide the constant lean, because this one's not doing that. This one says nope. This one says that makes 0 sense to me. I'm either leaning or I'm not, which I can understand that. Now that makes sense. Perfect. Oh my god, because it's leaning on that one, which is stable. Okay. And again. And again. This side. I can't believe this is happening, bro. I cannot believe this is happening. Ghost. This is ridiculous. I can't care to be in the living room, though. Yeah, it's a little crazy. I would place my books on it. Very good call. Very good call. Honestly, such a nice artistic piece for a bookcase. You make a good point. Oh... yes. Oh no! Come on. I need you to be able to lean. Please. Oh. Oh, you know, I don't know if I can get any better than that. The problem with going further with the outside is that if I don't think there's enough space for me to set it on top. Like, otherwise, 100% would. I also don't know if I can remove the lamps, which are definitely in the way at this point, but if I remove those, I don't know if it stays in its position here. But let me go ahead and move this. I also, yeah, I think this might be a complete build. It's a little, don't breathe too close. Yeah, exactly. It's sensitive. I almost broke this beauty as I was working. Like, I was so happy with how this turned out, and it almost blew it all apart. You can see the scrap there already. I almost blew it all apart while making this. This lantern in the center breaks, the whole thing burns down to the ground. So, but yeah, it was scary. I almost destroyed my other build while I was working on this one. But yes, it does seem that this one is working. Let me... Also, the scraps that fly around can knock stuff over, which makes me nervous, but I got to get them out of the way. Also, secondary also, I would not ever break this because this would drop everything down a peg, and I think the whole thing collapses then too. But we've done it. I mean, I'm happy with this. This is cool. A build for the ages. Another one. And one to be added to our collection of wondrous builds. Wondrous, insane nonsense that I'm putting together in this game. Why? Why? But okay. One lantern drop on that build is deep fried. Exactly that. Exactly that. Well, I'm happy with how this one turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed in terms of this game, Grainrot. Another game that I want to take a look at that I've been waiting for months for it to release. I think it just looks fantastic. I'm I don't ever just take a look at a single game and just wait for it to come out and just like, oh, anticipation. I just can't because there's too much coming out all the time. But there's one exception I've had for the last few months. That's the game we're about to get to, so I'm excited for that. But I hope you have enjoyed in terms of Grainrot. I will send, if you're on YouTube, you'll be sent straight over to the next game, which is, again, that one I've been looking forward to. If it's not your thing, it's all chill. I know Grainrot's... I mean, it's not exactly an extraction looter, but it does have sort of a looting element and a construction element with vehicles, this next game. So, might be your thing, might not be. No hard feelings if it ends up not being. But do take a look there if you are around on YouTube. I think I've got the one set already to raid, but I'll make sure the other one is set up to raid as well. If I can right quick here. Make sure we're all good on that end. Okay, so stream settings, edit, customization, and redirect you guys into the PAX game that I've got going. All right, so see you guys over there if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, stick around because we're going straight there. All right, close this and then end on YouTube. Thanks so much. YouTube goes away. It's me, Lulu.